Marco.
Batten down the
Marco.
hatches.
Are you ready for the totally awesome, coolest show ever?
Yeah, right now. Just had batten down the hatches real quickly. Hopefully, storm doesn't take out our internet. All right, let's begin. Shit! Holy hell!
Yeah,
Ugh.
it's loud.
It's coming. Holy, the cruddy part. I love summer. Love living on a lake, especially during summer. But the bad part is when it comes in. Whew, whew, a lot of battening you have to do.
Yeah, I see that the sky's dark outside. I'm like, and I hear the thunder, and like the wife's looking at the app. The app said it's not going to rain. I'm like, well, outside looks like it's going to rain.
It smelled like rain when I was coming home.
Yeah, and she knows it's going to rain, but I mean, like, the app's like, oh, there's nothing's going to happen. Weather's fine. App don't know nothing.
Yeah, I just got 5 texts. Severe store rolling in, batting them down. So we batting them all down.
Yeah.
Whew. Yeah, I don't think I've ran like that in a while.
Is it windy? Is that?
Yeah, it's windy.
Or is the rain already coming? Or is it just the wind's kind of?
The wind's kind of coming. The lightning's already started. But so when you live off the lake, you kind of live on the water table. So there's not like I got sub pump and stuff, but we put these boxes in to take the water. But that doesn't just because you try to direct the water doesn't mean that's where the water wants to go.
Yeah.
So you still gotta put stuff down, bury your stuff up, kind of throw sandbags down so that your property doesn't. I mean, so that the you never know what's gonna happen. So and then you got kayaks flying across your property because the wind's so heavy. They got everybody's got these. We got it too. I mean, I'm not buying another one, but they're called the lily pads. They're these big pieces of foam you roll out, and the kids run across them all day long. They're huge. And those bloody things, so you got to batten those things down because they'll go flying all over. They'll kill somebody because they come at you so hard rolled up.
They're foam.
Well, they're just foam. Yeah, you think they're just foam. Let the wind catch that and hit you in the head with one of them.
Well, I would think the ground is what's going to do the damage. Once it hit me, knocks me down.
It's probably going to clunk you.
And you get that rebound off the concrete.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's kind of like when Goldberg, ended HBK's career by clunking him off. It wasn't technically the coffin that did it, but he bashed HBK's back up off the coffin.
Oh, that wasn't.
Yeah, it was. That's pretty much what ended HBK's career. Actually, the Undertaker's taken out. Undertaker's taken out more people than you think.
That's what I'm saying. You said Goldberg. That's what was throwing me off.
Oh, sorry, Undertaker.
Yeah, I thought you were sticking with the Goldberg.
No, Undertaker. Undertaker taking out more people than Goldberg. Not by many, but it's pretty close. It's a race 1-2 between those two guys.
Undertaker's been around a lot longer.
That's what I'm saying. It's
in the ring a lot more matches than Goldberg.
Yeah, but he was taking out a lot of people early. I think later he wasn't because that's why they moved him away from. Because what was his finishing off move later? He didn't still keep doing the pile driver.
Spear and the jackhammer.
No, Undertaker.
Oh, well, after they
started doing a choke slam,
the last ride,
they started doing
it's because he killed too many wrestlers. He took too many wrestlers out of wrestling.
What, Tombstone?
Yeah, the Tombstone, messing all types of people up. Who knows?
Well, that's just in general. They got rid of the pile driver,
right?
Yeah, I mean,
that and the power bomb were off limits for a long time.
Yeah, not a good.
Now
move.
You see some of that stuff a little bit here and there.
Maybe, yeah. Well, no more DDTs, yeah. GT Key Comics, hi, thumbs up. Hey, GT Key.
They still do.
And
no, we see DDTs still.
Huh?
They still do DDTs.
Do they?
And they do them differently, and even the power bombs, they kind of do them a little different. But
why did they get rid of power bomb? Is that because back of the neck?
Well, you could.
You Kevin Nash definitely messed up a power bomb or two.
Yeah, I think I mean the one, and I love them to death, but the one move that you always were like, why are they doing this move? Because if they mess it up, you're screwed. Was the Steiner brothers with the Frankensteiner off the top? I mean, and that's what happened to Bagwell. So, anyways, hey Rennavision, we're on our way. Okay, cool. Ed LeBeau, sure. Yeah, that's my fault. Actually, it was my fault. I take 100%. I take 100% fault for that. It was battening down the hatches, and still, the wife's out battening down the boat. Oh, son of a! I might have to leave for a couple minutes. Let's say hi to Ed LeBeau. Let's say hi to BK. I'm gonna have to go down for 5-10 minutes. After last night's episode, if you're supporting the Acolyte and not being paid to do so.
I don't get all the hate, BK. We can get to that later.
Yeah, I don't get to that either. What's up, guys? Can't wait for another awesome show. Thank you. Sarah. Joe, we are all born ignorant, but one must work hard to remain stupid. Did he say? I always love when people put quotes out there. That doesn't sound like something he'd say, but all right. Bar Lord, hey all, Bar Lord. He was a discussion of topic of getting ripped off, wasn't he? Something.
Oh yeah, the LCS not getting him his pre-ordered incentive.
We won't spoil.
Oh yeah, on the Hot 10. Yeah, on the Hot 10, you guys talked about.
Well, HBK for 1, Coco Beware for 2, and the third one, didn't he hurt Alex Wright too? Just top of my head, I think he hurt Alex Wright.
The Wunderkind?
Hulk Hogan.
When he would do the dance?
Everybody knows that, the famous Hulk Hogan?
Hulk Hogan?
Yeah. Don't you remember when he hurt Hulk Hogan and Hulk Hogan said, I can't do anything anymore?
No.
Hulk Hogan.
No. I don't really listen to anything Hulk Hogan says.
I remember when Hulk Hogan walked out of WCW because I watched that episode today. But
dude, Nurk, you're telling me. I don't know why either. All right. Aria on payroll.
Thankfully, we didn't have to review that one.
Yeah, thankfully we did not. All right, so I have to go batten down one more hatch, but we can get into news, I guess.
Yeah, BK, you don't have to be on a payroll to say something is not the worst thing in the world. It's also me not saying it's the greatest show ever.
Like, dude, I don't like. I'm with AOA. The Acolyte's fine. I think the haters just are crybabies who I'm not even sure if they watch it.
I just don't get it. I don't see what you're seeing.
They don't use a jackhammer or.
Oh yeah, the jackhammer.
I don't use it. Yeah, he ain't lying.
That could happen. Yeah.
Hey, did you grab the
I don't know. I mean, I can get into the whole thing, especially if we go to last week's.
Oh, he's leaving.
That's all right. I can yell at BK for a little bit if you want, unless you want to get into the news.
No, whatever is good with me. Yeah. Well, I don't understand. Like, there's so much. Like, I didn't see this latest episode of Acolyte, but I've seen the first 3, and I just didn't have time to watch it. I wanted to get it on it before we came on today, but I didn't. And I just don't get the level of vitriol that's coming out of just so many different people. Like, it's like what.
And I'm not saying it's a great show. I'm not saying like, oh man, this is the best thing in the world. No. It's not.
It's no Andor. Perfect. Definitely no Andor. But it's okay. Right. It's not garbage. It's not terrible. It's okay. It'll be okay.
Since it was not this current week's episode, I'll reference something from last week's episode, from episode 3, which you also saw. I was having a discussion with my buddy at work, and he was going in with like, I don't like this. You probably like Acolyte. It's too woke. Oh, the woke. He's like, why do the twins? Why do they have to have 2 mothers? And I'm like, what's the difference? Like, realistically, what's the difference? Like, what is your problem with them?
Yeah.
Like the characters. If it's the fact that they were force created, well, guess what? That's not a new idea either.
Right.
Anakin came out of nowhere too. So this isn't a new idea that you're going to get all upset about. It's his old dumb ideas that they reused.
Right, exactly.
So I don't know what you're getting all mad about.
You might as well start hating on, like Anakin and Darth Vader and everything. That's exactly the same thing. And it's witches. Like, they didn't come up with the concept of witches all being witches being women. That's not a new concept.
Exactly.
That's not something they created for this specific thing.
And like I said, it's not that I love everything that's coming out of it, because a lot of it is kind of just cliched and kind of telegraphed. Like, if you guys don't know who the master is by now, I don't know what to tell you. That all said, we're not going to get into that. We'll quickly get into the review a little bit later, but I guess we can get into the news without. We don't need him for the.
All right, yeah, let's talk about the news.
Yeah, why not? We'll just get into it. Let me find the thing so we can run it, and it's going to be the box office stuff, and he's going to complain and talk about not eating popcorn and
all that
stuff. So we'll just start it without him.
All right, let's do it. All right, let's talk about something.
It is kind of cheesy.
Exactly. What about Star Wars is not cheesy?
That's also true.
Yeah, Star Wars is cheesy. That's what it is. So if you don't like the original Star Wars, then I get why you don't like that.
Yeah, and the boring, slow thing, that's what people said about Andor, and I liked Andor. Not at first. It took me a couple episodes to get into it, but once I got into it, I got into it.
Yeah.
But fair enough. I mean,
Andor
there's plenty to complain about. I'm just saying it's not the like people acting like their childhoods are being destroyed because they don't like this show.
Exactly.
It's all right.
It's not like the whole main character is spending 3/4 of the show in a bacta tank.
Yeah, well, there's that too.
All right, let's talk about some news this week.
What do we got?
So we're gonna talk about this story, which is I saw this and I was just surprised, so I thought I'd share. Tubi last month had more viewers than Disney Plus, Peacock, Max, and Paramount, not combined, but individually. Like Nielsen ratings based, like it's an ad-supported service, it's free.
As I say, well, it's free. So.
Yeah, so that kind of helps. And with the price of streaming going up everywhere, it kind of makes sense that people are turning to free stuff.
I watch stuff on Tubi. I watch old Top Gears on there. I think Tubi also had old Man vs. Wild. I was watching some of those on there.
I need to. I don't really. I was wondering, if I had Tubi, but I haven't gotten it. But I've been watching stuff on the Roku channel, which was a whole revelation to me about all the different things that are on there. I went down to visit my in-laws a couple weeks ago, and they asked me to set up their Roku for them, and I did. And then all of a sudden, they have like hundreds of channels that are free. My father-in-law watches. He watches a lot of old westerns and stuff, and so they have like 7 or 8 different western channels on there. And
that's kind of what Tubi's probably one of those things you didn't even notice that it was like blended in and worked in.
I'm gonna see what's on there because I'm all about it's great, and the commercials aren't that bad. Some of the commercials can get really rough, especially when you're watching like Peacock or something like that. Sometimes those commercials will come in and be on for like 7 minutes or something. But this wasn't bad. It's
these aren't too bad. And they generally also tell you, like you see in the top corner, it's like, oh, there's 2 commercials, and it's gonna be like a 90 seconds or 2 minutes or whatever it might be. There's usually a little timer up there.
Exactly, and I'm a fan, but Tubi is definitely starting to pick up some steam. 1 million viewers in May. I don't know if that means 1 million shows were watched or 1 million, but this was from the Nielsen data from Los Angeles Times, and basically Tubi has gone up 46% from last year. So that's pretty awesome.
Interesting.
But it makes sense. Is what I mean. With all the how expensive everything.
No, I have it on my Fire Stick. It's also, I think, built into our main TV, but I usually watch it through the Fire Stick anyway.
So yeah, I wonder what else is on there. So definitely there's good, like Kitchen Nightmares is on Roku, so we literally watch Kitchen Nightmares. We'll put that on, it'll just be on in the background like during the day or whatever, because there's a channel for just that, Kitchen Nightmares and Hell's Kitchen. It's awesome. Anyway, let's talk about the box office and what's going on the big screen.
Well, this is where Marco could have come in handy because I know the answer to your question. And I also went to see the movie.
You did see it? Okay.
Yeah, I didn't see it over the weekend, but we did see it today because we had off.
This is a surprising Inside Out 2 has broken records with the crazy over 154, just about 155 million is what the number.
It was crowded today.
Yeah, that's
like when I ordered the tickets, the theater looked empty. I'm like, all right, I guess the fervor is gone. But when we were there today, I had to tell people you're in our seats. I'm like, no, those are our seats. Sorry.
Move, please. Move. So
his boat almost fell over. Fucking idiot.
Don't go disrupting things. Keep going, Dub.
155 million overtook Dune Part 2, Godzilla vs. Kong, and it's the biggest opening of the year. It's the first movie since Barbie to debut over 100 million in a weekend, which is just crazy.
Yeah, it's from something I was reading. It's number 5, I think, for this decade or this since 2020. So this current chunk of this decade.
I had a whole bunch of things. So I looked up some correlating news with this, and I found a whole bunch of articles, and you can see, I don't know if you've heard, but there's all these. There's a heat wave going on. It's the hottest time of the year. It's ridiculous. It's hot. It's super hot. So it kind of makes sense that families are going to see the movies.
That's what I said. Our neighbor kids the other day were like, a bunch of their friends came back, like, oh, did you see the movie? No, I was like, oh, you guys don't remember? They're like, it's sold out. I was like, yeah, it's because people need the AC.
People are going. Costco's businesses are up. The warehouse clubs, their businesses are up, and movie businesses. It's ridiculous.
So we got 2 like public, very small public beaches, maybe 90 feet on the lake, and the amount of people without clothing that they probably should have clothing on, which is everybody, and the amount of people just smothered together to try to, because actually it's not even that. I think it's like only 45 feet of frontage on the one that's like in my town. So like people are like, it's just, they actually brought in stuff and they were floating out into the water today so far that you had to be kind of careful. And I'm not sure. We might find a body in the next day or so.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Nerk, I have done it before. I might get to it eventually once I got free time. But even though I might not be doing it right now, you can still get your free $15 if you go click the link below.
Yeah, it was, dude. I'm telling you, there was it's hot out there, so I'm
not gonna let me do my shameless plugs.
Keep plugging. I'm not, whatever. Do what? Yeah, sign up for Whatnot so Pete can make millions and millions.
We can get our stuff we need for Baltimore.
Yeah, that's right. We're having a big thing at Baltimore. Shh, don't tell anybody. Yeah. Go ahead.
What were we gonna say?
No, yeah. Go ahead. No, awesome.
Cool.
No, we'll get to I put the movie Inside Out 2 into the review section because I did see it at least. So
cool.
We can talk about it later. But it was a surprising result. I will say that.
Yeah, 150. That's like beating everything. So it's pretty good. Movies are back. Speaking of movies, the Street Fighter movie has lost.
People just like air conditioning. People just like air conditioning.
Well, that was.
It's not cheap. They could go to the mall and just sit on a bench. They just wanted air conditioning, not spend money.
I don't know, man. AC. The one thing I'll give
the movie. It was a week ago. You were complaining about the cost of movies and going to the theater.
I'm going to give it to. Hey, listen, I'm not biased. I just tell it how it is. You can't hate the game, hate the play. Wait, don't hate the player, hate the game.
No, I'm just saying that there was just.
I'm telling you,
people wanted to see
movie theaters. Their AC's on point. That's the one thing at movie theaters that's good. Their AC's on point.
That is true, but I don't think it's just because of the AC. I think it's a matter of they don't always get it right of what people want to see or the timing of when they want to see it. Like sometimes they pick movies that are maybe good, but they decide to release them at the wrong time when people don't want that now.
Yeah,
it would have been better if you did it another time of the year.
Waiting for Van Damme to come back.
Oh, into the Street Fighter movie. That would be pretty awesome.
These 2 guys are brothers. They did a movie called Talk to Me last year for A24. And I don't know what that movie. I think it's a horror movie. It did pretty well, so they got the gig for Street Fighter. But now they're unable to do it because they're going to go do another movie with A24.
These guys are the Douchenagel brothers, right?
Who?
The Douchenagel brothers?
I don't know what that means.
Well, they look like a bunch of
Philippus brothers.
Oh, okay.
Bless you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Street Fighter is now without a director. We had talked a few weeks back that or maybe a couple months ago now, that they were assigned to direct this movie. Legendary and Capcom are doing this movie, so they got to start over with a new director. So, and speaking of video game movies, Uncharted is getting a second movie.
Oh, I always keep trying. I always go try to watch that movie, and then I say, "Yeah, I've got something else to do."
It's not bad. It's not great. But I've seen a lot of worse things.
Yeah, we got G.I. Joe Tour. Yeah, we got him. We'll get to it, nerd. We'll get to it.
I started watching this movie once, but didn't finish. I did start playing the game as well. It really was. It's made by the same. It's Naughty Dog, so the same studio as Last of Us. So it's
everything about it seems
similar, but I still need to go back and watch it. Tom Holland, Mark Wahlberg. So this was kind of a surprise announcement. So
okay, yeah, cool. I wasn't sure if they were going to do another one. I didn't know if it made enough, but thankfully it did. Because
they teased some things at the end. So
yeah, I'm in.
Speaking of surprise announcements, Spaceballs is getting a sequel.
I'm less in on this.
Yeah, I'm way less in on this. Amazon MGM is making it. Josh Gad is starring, and he will produce alongside 98-year-old Mel Brooks. Is that what you guys say?
Yeah. Nothing against Josh Gad, and I love Mel Brooks, but he is up there.
I think you just leave this one alone.
And Jedi reminded me of something. I don't know if you guys saw it in the chat. It's like, History of the World Part 2. That was not that good. So
I think you just leave this alone, right? Like, let's just
I would
guys. Leave it alone. Make something different.
Sit back for a little bit, relax.
Search for more money.
Yeah, make something else. Don't call it this. Leave this alone.
Or do you think they're going to do like a Force? Or are they going to do like a Force Awakens and just actually redo the original Spaceballs?
Yeah, maybe. I mean,
they might just swap out a couple characters, but it's basically
how many guys are dead from Spaceballs?
Well,
like
John
one's
Candy's
almost
passed.
Dead, huh?
Yeah, John Candy's passed.
The guy
Rick
from
Moranis is retired.
Is he dead? He's just retired.
I think he's been long retired. His wife passed a long time ago, and then he just went to go raise his kids, and he's never came back. Pullman. I think Bill Pullman. I'm not sure.
Bill Pullman, I don't believe.
I think he's still around. I always used to confuse him and Paxton, and I know Paxton. Oh,
point being, just let them all be dead, or like leave them all alone. We don't need this anymore.
Yeah, well, and Mel Brooks, obviously, he played a couple.
I mean, he's pretty much dead. He's 98 years old.
Yeah, exactly. So he's not going to be able to reprise his roles.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, most of these guys are dead or retired. Just let them be.
All right.
This is actually kind of funny, though. That's a big forcible. Yeah. Don't try to relive it.
Yeah, one of a kind, exactly. So last week we talked about Alamo Draft House and Sony Pictures. Well, this week we got the announcement that Netflix is opening up 2 permanent immersive entertainment venues next year.
Every time you walk through the door, it goes dum dum.
Probably, yeah.
Are they going to close down streaming now? Because that's what happened. Originally, they were mailing you DVDs, and then all of a sudden, when they told you couldn't get DVDs anymore.
They're working their way up through the process, and now they're just making the content.
I was on that legacy program where if you had gotten if you paid $6.99 for 2 DVDs at any time, you got free streaming.
Oh yeah,
they got rid of DVDs, and then they said, "Well, that's not a program anymore." And I said, "But damn it, I'm grandfathered in, so I still want to pay $6.99." And where are my DVDs?
Mail me my Back to the Beach DVD.
Yeah. Send me the DVD now. So they've done like little events like around the country. Like I know Chicago had like a Stranger Things event, and they little pop-up events. So they're kind of bringing them all to a permanent location. Like they said, they're gonna have like little live experiences for Bridgerton, Money Heist, Stranger Things, Squid Game, and then Netflix Bites. So like obviously gonna sell some kind of food to make money there as well. So. They will be the first ones will be in Dallas, Texas, and King of Prussia, Pennsylvania.
And where?
King of Prussia.
Oh yeah. It's not close to me, but it's in driving range.
That's a place in Pennsylvania, huh?
Yeah, King of Prussia. It's a big mall. It's out there.
Okay.
Makes sense. All right, let's talk about some streaming.
And an IKEA. I think there's an IKEA over there.
That sounds right.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
So we're gonna get a Blue Beetle animated series. So it's gonna continue from where the movie left off, some sort of continuation, spin-off from the movie.
I finally started watching some of that movie, and it just wasn't hooking me. I was
every time we click through stuff, the wife always goes, "Yeah, we still haven't finished Blue Beetle, have we?" Nope.
Yeah.
Yeah, This is on a list, but it keeps moving down the list of things that I got to watch. So, which is surprising.
Yeah, I doubt this one's ever
eventually
getting
it's gonna
done.
fall off.
But you know, they thought when this movie came out, it was near the end of the DCEU, and they said
True.
they were going to have this character carry over somehow. So it makes sense that they're going to make an animated series out of it and see what happens. So
Yeah, fair enough.
Jaime is still around.
Yeah, I had no problems with him. Like,
Yeah,
as the actor or anything. It's just
Hey,
I just wasn't.
I remember this.
This is Anthony Bourdain,
huh?
and he wrote Get Jiro.
Get Jiro. It's a trade paperback. It's like a
trade paperback. So they're going to make a series on Adult Swim.
Interesting.
That sounds about right.
Half hours episodes, and
remember he did that Hungry Ghost comic too. That was another.
Oh, this thing was stupid.
What, the comic?
Yeah, the graphic novel. Yeah, stupid.
Yeah, but I mean, it's going to be an Adult Swim animated show.
Yeah, so it'll be great for that.
So
Adult Swim is it's like MTV animated, like the late night back in the day. A lot of shit didn't make sense. Like the
I mean, I have all Anthony
Head,
Bourdain's books, so my wife bought me this as a gift because it fit in with what was it, Kitchen Confidential?
That book was
and
amazing.
what's the other one? Mary, who's the one that gave everybody Typhoid Mary?
He wrote Typhoid Mary.
Yeah, he actually, if you learned how to cook and actually went to culinary school, one of the reading requirements was Typhoid Mary.
I didn't go to culinary school.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought they made you read back issues of Daredevil.
No, Typhoid Mary.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, what?
You want to cook here?
he wrote a biography on Typhoid Mary and how she made everybody bleed through the ass for eating ice cream.
Kitchen Confidential. That was a great show.
Confidential.
No, but the show
great book.
was good too.
The original book, yeah,
it's
fun.
The show was good. Bradley Cooper.
It's a lot, dude. His original book was a lot. It was a lot of work. I mean, still in the 90s, it was like the kitchens in the 90s. Like, there's a lot of it that was similar to the kitchens in the 90s.
I worked in some of those kitchens. I agree. I can concur. Yeah. So this show is going to be set in the near future. Mysterious, revenge-focused sushi chef named Jiro in a version of Los Angeles where customers resort to like murder to secure a table at, really coveted restaurants. So
I'm sure you can probably get his old No Reservations on like Tubi too. Like I know they're on Max, but I bet you Tubi's got a good chunk.
No
reservation. And then there was the one where he would travel and go to like different countries.
No, the best was when he traveled with that gypsy, the Romanian guy or whatever. Do you remember that?
I don't remember which guy.
So there was one where he would travel, but there was a whole group where he'd travel with this one dude, and all it pretty much was them getting like he was just boozing out of his mind and eating like
right. Yeah. So you go to whatever country, and then they would give him whatever drinks that they had, and go to like villages and random places. And sometimes he would eat this bird's nest thing, and then he got really sick. And like at the end of the episode, he was like hacking in the. But
the best ones of that is the one where I can't remember what the friend's name was. It might have been like Yuri or something, but like whatever it was, he was some gypsy dude that would just show up randomly whenever he was like in the block, and like they would go. They go she has places like. Maybe get shot. They drive weird ass shit and the whole thing of him was eating weird food and getting hammered. But like, he would go to weddings with him. Like he kept getting invited to like Romanian weddings and shit. Like it was crazy, dude. Those were the best ones of those.
So, that show was good. Tubi.
Yeah, what was the other show? I can't think of the title.
No Reservations.
There was No Reservations, and
look it up, I guess, instead of just guessing at it.
You guys know. One of you guys.
No Reservations kind of got old after a while.
I know, but they're good kind of like background things. Like if you're doing other work, it's like a good show to have on the background.
I'm looking it up.
All right. Well,
while you do that, let's see what else.
Parts Unknown.
Parts Unknown. That might have been that one.
Was later. I thought maybe that was the one I was after. I don't know. I don't remember the order.
There's the Layover, but I don't think that was it.
No. So this happened last week, right after after our show. But Dwayne Johnson has now celebrating his Disney production deal. Things didn't work out so good with the competitor Warner Brothers, so he decided to come over to Disney. Hopefully, he can have some success
and make Jungle Cruise 2.
Jungle Cruise 2. He appreciates all the well wishes and gives everyone virtual high fives. Thank you. He thanks everyone, and he is looking to serve and entertain the people.
Yo, did you see what he did to his elbow? Making that that movie,
the new movie,
sack
MMA movie, yeah.
Oh.
Oh, that looked bad. That looked really rough.
That's kind of funny.
All right, let's talk about some toys. These are going to be just some regular toy news that we have. Starting off right off the bat with X-Men, the animated series. This is Mondo, Cyclops.
Boo.
So this is, they've been putting out these every so often. There's a Rogue, there's a Magneto, there's Wolverine, there's some other people that I can't remember. But Cyclops, this is a limited one with the exclusive. You get the jacket, the extra heads, and the visor, and
you get
the
finger
red
guns,
yes,
and the shocker, and like all these.
Yeah, those all come with. That's the regular version, but the exclusive one comes with the extra I-beam. When he's like a human and has.
And what about the leather jacket there?
And the leather jacket, exactly. Leather jacket arms and the actual leather jacket. So, Mondo timed edition for this, only 1,500 pieces. It's on sale now for $240. Thank you, Mondo.
Yeah, they priced it so high because they knew nobody was gonna buy that shit anyway. So,
Alf,
I know the people that are going to buy it will probably spend that.
Yeah, the ones that are going to buy it, yeah, they're going to love it.
Alf with a selfie stick?
Alf with a selfie stick. Well, he's coming to San Diego Comic-Con.
Oh, okay.
And so this is an exclusive there. I think he had one last year as well, but this is Super Alf. So he's ready to go to the con and in his cosplay.
Mm-hmm.
And, yep, NECA's doing this.
He's got a poster tube.
Poster tube and a selfie stick.
Interesting.
All right, let's talk about McFarlane Toys. He has a Summer Geek Out. He's doing some figures for Target. This is Metallo and Fire.
I'm sorry, did you say for Ollie's?
Well, Target first.
Okay, all right. Yeah.
Target first.
That's Metallo? Yeah.
That's some kind of weird Metallo. That's Fire. And then there is a Rookie and Mr. Bloom.
What? Why?
Because everybody wants to look back fondly at their Batman 43s or 42. What was it? It was like 42 or 43.
42. Wasn't it 42?
Because he and the Joker died in like, I think 41. So it might have been 42. I don't know, but who cares?
Who cares? Indeed. Then there's also a Punchline and Joker 2-pack. It comes with a Jorge or George Jimenez.
Oh.
Target exclusive. It's
Jorge Jimenez.
Jorge Jimenez. George Jimenez. However it's pronounced. Comes with his autograph on a card. With this, and it's $59.99 at Target.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. And then we also have the Batman the Animated Series Batmobile.
It's kind of
also
cool.
a Target exclusive for $79.99.
I'm not going to get it, but it's kind of cool to look at.
Exactly. Let's go into some comic news.
Please.
Joshua Williamson is leaving 2 DC titles. So he writes a whole bunch of stuff. Darkrai, Cobra Commander, Duke, Batman and Robin, Superman, Action, Green Arrow. It's like so many things. But Batman and Robin number 13 and Green Arrow number 17 will be the last issues that he will be doing on those particular series.
So he's going to do only good books now.
Well, he's got burnout going on because he's doing too many things. And he wants to reduce his workload, spend some more time with his family.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, Cobra Commander and Duke are both done now, so.
Yeah, right. That's true. Oh, here you go.
Cook's Tour. Yeah, no reservation, top shelf, the layover.
It had to have been no reservation.
Had to be the layover? Had to be the layover.
No, that doesn't sound.
Well, no reservations. That was the older one, and then I guess Parts Unknown was the newer one. In my mind, those are the two.
Maybe I don't know.
That's what I was thinking of with him. Just
I'll think about it next week and let you know.
Yep. All right.
And you are right, Enrico. Cobra Commander.
It was
Yes, it
awesome.
So there's going to be a one shot from DC. I know what you did last Crisis #1. Yep.
Okay. You got to giggle out of me, but you're not going to get the $9 they're probably going to charge for this thing.
$9.99. Previously unseen events that occurred during previous DC Crisis events. From Crisis on Infinite Earths to Final Crisis. The thing about this book is that it's being written by Dan Didio, or parts of it.
Didio! Yeah, Corbin's so excited about this.
Yeah, his big return to DC.
That's right. Corbin was getting all jacked up about this.
He's hyped. But this comes out in October, so it's going to be horror-ish based, so that's where the title comes from. So,
fair enough.
And then Local Man, by a friend of the channel, Tony Fleece.
No, Mr. Fleece.
Mr. Fleece, yeah.
I forgot to text him. I was going to text him yesterday.
In true tradition from Image Comics from the 90s, they're going to jump from issue 13 to issue 25. So you're going to miss a whole year of stories. So they jump to 25, and they'll go back and tell you the stories from 14 to 24 afterwards. So a whole bunch of books did this back in 1994, 95. They were all
Fleece and Celia are working on something else. Oh, Fleece is coming back to Marvel, isn't he? Not to ruin your stuff.
He's coming to what?
Oh, wait, oops. I didn't say anything.
All right.
I was reading something. I'm sorry. I was not paying attention. What are you saying now? I'm sorry. What?
We're talking about Local Man.
Oh, okay. Yeah, for sure.
Local Man, yes. We're talking about Local Man, and it's going to be number 25. That's going to be next solicited.
Nothing to see here.
Move along. Nothing to see here.
Yeah, we might have to edit that out. We got to check that
later. Sensational She-Hulk will end in August. So that will be issue number 10. So this kind of fits in with Marvel's Dan Buckley, I think the editor, somebody in charge of Marvel, something, who says that they're going to start, instead of doing like small miniseries and such, they're going to do like 10 issue runs before they do a relaunch or redo. So this is 10 issues of Sensational She-Hulk, and then they might do another series down the road. So, So for you Sensational She-Hulk fans, I'm sorry.
Yeah, let's just, so we can try to sell you on a brand new start and a whole new creative team that you're going to get bored with in a few issues, and we'll have to cancel it.
Do we need She-Hulk?
We'll do it again.
I mean, like,
they're doing it for a bunch are ending. I think Invincible Iron Man's ending at 20. I think Captain Marvel is also ending at 10. And I don't want to jump ahead if Dub's got it in the news.
No, I don't.
It's just some books that I know that look like they're wrapping up.
So yeah, there's too many.
But I mean, why don't we just do, like, if you're going to do this, just have these teams, and I really do think they should do this. Marvel won't listen to me. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, this was the best comment. Three Rivers had it. Punchline, Hush, Livewire, characters. Hey, Bob, characters that potential DC did nothing with for 50, please.
That's so true.
If they would just run mini, like, I don't think of a She-Hulk, like, 6-book mini, 4-book mini is a bad idea. Honestly, when they were doing it, now they're starting to do it with Star Wars, where they're doing it with Mace Windu. That series was fine because there's 4 books. Got it good. They're doing the same thing with Jango Fett. It's actually like, oh shoot, I think it should have been 2 more books because it's actually pretty decent. But that way you can test it out. You can bring back characters that people will love. You'll sell it for a little bit, maybe do 4 or 5 variants, call it a day. Like 125s. Who cares? Make your money there, and I think you can sell that. Like, you're not overstocking the shops with it. But this stuff, when you're going back to Sensational She-Hulk, it's like, it sounds like a major title, but like, which run of Sensational She-Hulk besides what was it, the Bolden run, are you really like giving a fuck about? Not to be negative, but like, and shut up. If you come into this chat and you say I'm the greatest She-Hulk fan, shut up. No, you aren't. There's no such thing. Okay. My point is though, like, with some of these characters, wouldn't it be better if they did like
bad? But
okay, no, I said good. I didn't say not bad. I said good. So like, I don't think unless you're a main character, and I don't know, Iron Man's not really a main character anyway. Why would you have a solo title?
Well, most of the stuff produced is not good, so we can could be.
I think you could improve it that way. Is all I'm saying. So I hope Spider-Man.
I think the only She-Hulk books I own have to do with covers, maybe like a Jen Bartel cover or Jenny. I think Bartel is the cover that she did all the women covers. things like that are the only She-Hulk books that I own. So.
Yeah, you got Bartel, you got some Hugheses. Grant off.
But I mean,
that's
but here's it is. They're picking up Hughes because of it. Who's reading this.
Yeah, not me, but I did buy the Hughes.
But you could do a Hughes. But like, how cool would it be? How cool would it be if Hughes did like, I don't know.
And it wasn't even a great Hughes. It's not even a great cover.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if he got to choose a different character, even a random. What if he did Squirrel Girl all of a sudden? He had a Squirrel Girl mini, and Hughes got to do Squirrel. Well, that probably wouldn't fit Hughes. I don't know who would fit Hughes. Who do you guys? Hey, Joe, name somebody. Joe's a perv. Name somebody you'd like Hughes to do a picture of, right? Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, you could do it in a mini where you could bring in these artists every once in a while. I think it'd be a better draw because you'd get both the front end and the back end. So I don't know.
Hughes can do the front end and the back end. That's true.
Hughes can do something. Yeah.
All right. Let's move it on.
Moving on. So Zeb Wells and John Romita are saying goodbye to Amazing Spider-Man.
Bye, John.
Final arc. So the final arc starts with Amazing Spider-Man 58, and then the final showdown with Tombstone will begin then. So this could last all another year. So don't get excited yet.
Sabretooth.
Yeah, so this could be it starts in September, and who knows how long.
10-part storyline.
Yeah, that's it. It's over, the final showdown. So, yeah.
The final showdown that carries us all the way through Amazing Spider-Man 75. Which will magically become a milestone issue after we release you a new #1 the month after. And then 3 issues later, it'll be issue 1000 or something.
You're right. That's exactly what I think you got their plan down. You got it. You got it.
I know what they do.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Right. Yeah, Tony Fleece is doing a Marvel. It's good. All right, cool. He hit me back. We're good. We didn't break it. We don't have to do anything. We're good.
I wasn't going to do anything anyway.
Yeah. So we talked a couple weeks ago about this Marvel Coca-Cola thing with the cans and the pictures, and so we talked about those comic covers. So here are the Coca-Cola Marvel variant covers. There are 6 of them.
Wow, those
coming out in August, and they all have something to do with Coca-Cola at some point. Either the drinking Coke, stealing Coke, something like that. Here's Deadpool's Deadpool team up. And
hold on, go back. So they're all also supposed to be in comic shops.
Looks like it, at least.
Yeah, it looks like picture. Coca-Cola and comic shops.
What type of heathen would drink pop in a comic shop?
I don't know.
The ones that sell it, because they also do Magic the Gathering game nights.
Yeah, if they do that, they keep it by the gamers. They split on their cards. I don't care. Keep the drinks away from the comics.
Yeah. And store.
Well, I don't think they want you walking around the shop and drinking. It's like people go to the supermarket and like eating while they're shopping. I'm like, I don't think you're supposed to be eating while you're shopping.
Yeah, I mean, I went to
that when you get it home, when it's yours. It's not yours yet if you didn't pay for it. They're not gonna be able to weigh those grapes as you're eating them.
The shop that I
had a dozen grapes on the way here.
The shop that I grew up with, the one, they had one of these Coke things in there for a while, and they actually had cans, which is even worse. And people would drink the shit. They drink the shit right there. Like, what are you doing, man? Anyways, that's stupid.
Anyways, here's the other 3 covers. Avengers, Fantastic Four, and Moon Knight are also doing these.
What is with that kid's neck? Holy fucking neck.
He's like the one Jedi in Acolyte. He's got the longest neck in the world.
Who? I don't know. That's the
dude with the short dreads. The dude, he's got a really long neck.
Oh, yeah, maybe.
I used to know a guy named Neckage. That was his nickname because his neck kind of looked like that.
Yeah, that's a lot of fucking neck. Who drove that piece of junk?
That was Salvador LaRocca.
Is it?
Oh, LaRocca sure digs the necks. Because honestly, she's got hair, but that girl's neck is fucking giraffe-like too. Dude. You can tell it is.
All right.
What? It is. Is it not? It's some neck. Anyways, all right.
All right. So some new printings. Here is Blood Hunt.
For fucking God's sake.
Number 3, Pepe Larraz's second printing. I don't know, like it's his McFarlane homage, I guess.
This looks like shit.
Ish.
I guess. I never made that connection until now.
He goes, that's what you get a giraffe neck when you drink Coke. Or this, whatever this dog shit is.
Well, it was fine. It was the regular cover, but
No, it ain't that
Sorry.
good.
Cobra Commander #1 is going to get a 4th printing, and Duke
What the fuck
#3
is wrong with that Cobra
is gonna
Commander?
get 3rd printing.
Is that an extra eye up there?
It's like a lizard eye on the left. What the shit?
A snake eye and a regular
I
eye.
don't know, man. That kind of, I'll be honest, that kind of creeps me out. I don't know.
Yeah, I kind of like that though. But it creeps me out.
I don't know, dude.
It's well
not
done
me.
creeping out.
I kind of want to punch it. It's one of those things that makes me want to punch it.
It elicits a response. That's to me, that's a good cover. Whether you're repulsed by it
that
or you love it, it
punch a
elicits a
screen 'cause of
response.
that.
So
All
it's
right.
good.
So, according to previews, this cover is listed as done by David Aja, but it's definitely not David Aja. I believe it's Ludo Lulabi is the name of the artist who did both of these
Ludo
covers.
Bagman from the Harry Potter universe.
Yeah, Bagman.
Nobody gets that reference. Who's the one on? Who's the chick on top of the Duke thing?
I don't know. I thought you knew.
Duke 3? I don't remember some chick. Oh, is that supposed to be Baroness?
Maybe it's Baroness, I guess.
The fuck
It's
it
also
is.
a creepy Baroness, yeah.
Well, if you just make her goggles glow. I
read Scarlet. I didn't think it was that great. I thought it was okay.
I liked it fine.
It wasn't as good as Cobra Commander and Duke. And
No,
it definitely does good.
Wasn't bad.
It definitely does good as another review in a little bit.
I'm still in for the next issue.
I'm still soaking wet. Some idiot was out there and his boat died. I had to help it in.
Wait, the boat died?
Yeah, I went down to just do one little thing. That's why it took so long. I should have.
Well, the way your sentence was structured, I didn't know who died.
Oh well, I should have just let him die. To be honest with you, lightning and all that crap. I'm out there in the water. What am I, an idiot?
That's yeah.
This is kind of cool.
Intelligent. So Transformers #1, 7th printing. Brian.
Yeah. Weren't they? Were they pushing these as the last ones?
That's all right. I'll be honest with you. The color version, if it's $1, I'll buy it.
Well, this connects
to.
I think it's Void Rivals.
Oh, it connects to
Void Rivals, like the big.
Oh, thank you for spoiling it, Dom. I mean, Pete.
I put those in there, and I didn't even realize.
He didn't even know.
Oh, he didn't actually know that?
I didn't know.
Oh, for fuck's sake! I thought you were playing along with him.
Oh, I don't see what Shockwave is, but I believe you.
No, the big head in the middle.
Gotcha. Statues.
Wait, go back. What?
Unicron looking dude.
Shockwave's right there. What are you talking about?
I was
Soundwave is down front. Starscream in the back.
Well, the next one, Shockwave's over there.
Yeah.
What was he asking?
Unicron head.
The Unicron head. Well, there's
the
one side.
Oh, you thought Shockwave was a connection part. Okay.
Yeah, so if you see Shockwave, he gets cut off.
He does get cut off. I got you.
But it's the other side.
Dude, so that means there's going to be a bunch of 7th printings with this shit connecting.
Yeah.
Well, no, this is a 9th printing for
This is a 9th printing of Void Rivals. So.
Holy hell.
I could have swore I saw last or final printing somewhere.
That's
I could be wrong.
I mean, for $1, I'll buy these things when they go on discount.
Yeah, so
maybe
they're kind of cool. Look, it's tough to even order them for the 9th printing. So,
well, I'd go $2.
Somebody's gonna order them.
Or $5 for the pair.
That was a week of it. That update was all week, baby. It was an all week update.
You missed half of it. What are you talking about?
I had to save some more on, dude. Should let him die.
Okay, well, that had nothing to do with the update.
Now I'm soaking wet. You know when you get soaking wet and your shirt starts to dry, but it's not fully dried, and then it's sticking to you. Yeah, it's the stage I'm in right now. Yeah, it's wet. All right, what's up? What's next? Let's talk about it. We got some things to judge.
We actually have a
little extra bit of toys.
We're gonna keep going toys and not do the regular section about if we like stuff and not.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
We talked about this.
This is what we talked about. Agreed to that. I was just I'm not paying attention at all.
We'll do this after the news.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So basically, we have a special report on toys, basically because Marvel Legends had a stream earlier this week. It was on Monday, and they dropped a whole bunch of new pictures and action and figures, and updated us on some things. And let's just go right into it.
Agreed.
We'll do this pretty quick. So this is Odin.
That's a big boy.
Yeah, it's a large, oversized figure. I didn't get a price on it, and I believe
Ali's coming.
Yeah, that's like 40.
I will tell you this though; these are going to be awesome because you buy these by the case at Ali's for like $19, and then you'll sell them like 5 years later for $120, $150.
I mean, it's pretty cool looking.
I have a feeling it's going to be like a store exclusive of some kind, but I don't know. But
he's beefy.
Ali's has plenty of different store exclusives. They don't make their own. They got Target store exclusives, Walmart store exclusives.
Because the problem is, stores are going to struggle to sell a premium price figure because they're not.
Dude, great time to buy toys if you've been shopping. Like, everything's going on clearance right now. It's great.
Moving on. So this was announced last week, but this is the MCU's version of Man-Thing.
Oh, Man-Thing?
Yeah, there was a Build-A-Figure Man-Thing before that I guess was a much better figure, but this is based on his appearance in Werewolf by Night.
That's all right. This is cool. This is a cool clearance item.
This is a good, it's a good-looking figure.
Yeah.
It's decent size.
Check out my giant-sized Man-Thing.
$40.
I like these. I mean, they're fun. This is the Apocalypse.
Oh, you're
that ended up at Ollie's too. $12.99. Same size.
So that was wasn't that on the retro card back too?
No, this was in the same packaging as this.
Was it? It was in a box. I thought
it was the one that like whatever Odin was in.
Yeah, it's like the crooked.
Oh, I got you.
Hold on, I think I probably got it back here someplace. Go ahead, continue though. This is cool.
Target is going to have an exclusive of Venom, MCU, or not even MCU, Sonyverse Venom.
Sonyverse Venom, yeah.
Yeah, this will be a Target exclusive.
Not bad.
Yeah, it had the angled front. Yeah, not too bad. He's got the tendrils, which I don't think was in the movie, but who knows?
Another Venom.
They had a lot of tendrils, but I don't think they did a lot of the little faces.
So maybe this was
in the movie, like in the movie.
Good job, BK. Just showed the whole box, so it said Age of Apocalypse. Yes, very good. You can read.
I just want to go through we're going moving on. Here is Warlord, aka Professor X with legs. There wasn't really this would be a Walmart exclusive. Oh, well, you know that's what I was wondering.
Because he looked cool in X-Men.
Why do you need more X-Men? Nobody needs more X-Men.
No, this one. I don't know why anybody.
But it was gold color, didn't?
No, I mean he looks kind of like Strife, right? I guess.
Oh yeah, the helmet, right?
Well, it was drawn this way before there was a Strife. So, to be fair, Jim Lee did it first. Jim Lee did the Galactus helmet.
He did it. He did it before. Wait! Didn't Liefeld swipe that? Is that who swiped that?
Well, Strife, yeah.
Yeah, Liefeld swiped that.
Here's another Phoenix for you X-Men fans. It comes with the stand and the bird behind it. Yep, Phoenix bird. Yep. Rogue and Destiny 2-pack.
That's all right. Rogue sucks, man. Come on.
How do you take a good figure, or how do you take a good character and make a crappy figure? That's Rogue.
And actually, Destiny's pretty fucking good, though.
Well, that's what Rogue looked like, though.
No. Not today, not last week. No.
Yes.
That bad. Not that bad. No, I know what you're saying. She kind of looked like that, but that's not how she looked. She looked like your old Aunt Esther.
Yeah.
No, she didn't.
She kind of looks like a Dracula type.
Maybe I have to pull it out. Let me find it.
I know what you're saying. She never looked that bad. I know what you're saying.
She did look that bad.
She had the butch haircut. I understand that. She just didn't look this bad.
She did. She looked that bad. I'm just saying she did.
We'll disagree to disagree with you because
it was rough.
This will be an Amazon exclusive 2-pack. Details on release date were not announced yet. Coming up next, we have a new run of figures. It's Marvel Legends Strange Tales. So here we have Brother Voodoo.
They give him two capes.
I think
maybe
the cape is.
Or you turn it upside. You know what I mean?
it's probably the same thing. No, it's probably the same thing with the Age of Apocalypse cape, where you can.
It's bendable, I think.
Yeah, bendable.
It looks like it's bendable. Yeah.
Okay.
We have Marvel's version
Not
of Dracula.
Dracula.
No, it's not Brother Voodoo. It's Dracula. We have Halverine.
Holy shit, they're actually making
Look at that. Look how quick he's got.
Wow. Look at that turnaround.
Yeah, they were planning that. Yeah. We have
Sarah, she did look like one of the Golden Girls. That's the point.
Yeah, she looked bad, but not as bad as that. She had the butch. I'm giving you the butch haircut. I'm giving you the look, but not that. But you didn't have to do that. What did happen to her?
Yeah, I'm not loving this storm either.
That's what I'm telling you. Like they look bad, but they didn't look this bad, man. Fuck no.
Oh, Bloodstorm. Yeah, so you got Vampire Storm.
Oh, good lord.
Here we have Damien Hellstrom.
I thought it was Pip.
Dude,
It's a repainted Pip.
Pip is Aquaman.
Is either Pip the Troll or J.D. McDonough.
Pip the Troll is Aquaman. That's who this is.
That's not big enough to be J.D. McDonough.
Dude, when did Hellstorm get like a 20-pack and fucking 50?
Always. He's always been no shirt. Just I'm gonna go out.
No shirt, but not this ripped. He's like bulked up. He's skinnier than this, dude. Well, he did miss leg day.
And then we have Lilith.
Nice.
What's with the dance she's doing there?
I don't know.
Well, that's just to show she can dance.
When I dip, you dip, we dip.
See,
and then we have this Moon Knight.
That's actually not a bad Moon Knight either.
Not too shabby. Comes with the tag, with the ankh and little claws on his.
Yeah, starting.
I don't know how I feel about like the WCW championship belt that he's wearing there.
That was how it looked in the mag and stuff. That's the early versions of it. They got it right.
All right. So with all of those figures that we just saw, who's the Build-A-Figure?
Oh shit! Hold on, go back.
No, we don't have to go back.
It's Mephisto.
All make a classic horror.
It's Mephisto.
That's not a bad guess. That's not a bad guess.
Okay, it could be Dracula, but he's not big enough. I'm trying to think about who could be big enough.
I'm going to go with his kid. It's going to be Blackheart.
No, it's got to be somebody big.
You can bulk him up. You can
hold on.
It
could be Blackheart. Hold on. Don't tell us shit. Don't tell us shit. Go back through him one more time.
What? You don't remember? It was Lilith. You had Moon Knight. You had
one more time.
You had Brother Voodoo, Bloodstorm Storm, Halverine.
Halverine's part of this grouping?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I mean, you're mixing in the Spirit of Vengeance.
Oh, it's Blade. Oh.
Or is it maybe it's Vengeance?
Oh, it could be Vengeance.
You know, the big
could be, yeah.
The big Ghost Rider one.
It could be Blade? Why Blade's not big enough though.
Yeah, I don't see how. Yeah, well,
it's Jack of Hearts. That's hilarious.
Jack of Hearts. That would be if She-Hulk was there.
Nicely done, Sticks.
And one more. Who's the?
It was Moon Knight.
Moon Knight was the last one.
Yeah, no, he's yeah. Who's the third one? It could be maybe Blade. I guess I'm guessing Blade just because.
Vengeance is my other guess.
Yeah,
with Blackheart.
Good guess.
Well, it is.
Oh, it's Blackheart.
Blackheart.
Good, nice job.
So that's the build.
I mean, nice job and not a nice job because that's a shitty Build-A-Figure.
It's not that much taller. Like it, I believe Brother Voodoo came up to his shoulder, so it's not that much bigger than the Brother Voodoo figure. So
yeah, I think if you had like a Mephisto on a throne, that would have been cooler.
Yeah, but then you got to sell him like the whole throne and everything.
Yeah, all the different things.
Or just sell him sell a big ass Mephisto.
I don't know if I like the Spawn box.
I think Halverine does not come with the parts, so I think the rest of them come with parts.
Yeah, I think it looks like you're right.
Yeah, it doesn't look like there's a part in the.
Yeah, because they usually limit it to 6.
Arm, leg. Leg. Well, where's the tail?
Well, they generally don't do the tail separate. It would be with the body.
Storm with the body, yeah.
Yeah, it's usually arm, leg, body, head.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe they could put the tail on them just in case. But it looks like it's on the one side of Storm, so.
Then
that's not a bad line. I'll be honest with you. That's not a bad line.
It's mostly new figures. I mean, new characters.
It's not a bad. I mean, Wolverine, fucking whatever. But like,
it's got
Storm, Bloodline, whatever.
Yeah, I think Storm's probably the worst figure in that.
The ones to get the Build-A-Figure, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Pip
I
Patrol,
don't know. It's
Aquaman Troll is kind of bad.
Yeah, Aquaman Pip is a little weird.
I like that Lilith. I think that's dope as shit. I like
Lilith is good.
Lilith isn't bad.
Brother Voodoo's good too. I mean,
Voodoo's good.
There's been a Voodoo before, and this Voodoo's like 100 times better than that Voodoo.
I got my Mr. Night Moon Knight, so I'm good with that one.
Yeah, that's a cool look.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just saying it's not a bad look. All right.
So these pre-orders open up tomorrow at 1:00 Eastern time, 10 a.m. Pacific. So if you're looking to get these, and I think they're going to be available at major retailers, definitely like Amazon and
they missed it. So they could then.
So
they probably could take Storm out of this and put Blackheart in it, and then did a Mephisto.
If they did Blackheart by itself, it would be like a deluxe, like the Odin or your.
Yeah, because he does look a bit bigger. I mean, look at the size of his head. Look at the size of his head next to the Moon Knight.
How about you just shrink the fucker, put him in there?
Yeah.
Anyway, whatever. Okay.
And then you know how they always give you a little tease. Here is what they showed us. Whose gun is that?
Forge or Cable?
I figured it was an X-Men related gun.
Yeah.
It's not familiar.
I'm gonna guess their next thing is gonna be Wolverine and Deadpool related.
Yeah, so it's probably Cable.
Well, you would think they would have talked about that now because the movie's coming out in a month.
You know what they could do is you could do early X-Force.
When they announced this stream, they said it wasn't going to have Wolverine and Deadpool in it. They were very specific about that. So, thought that was interesting.
It could be X-Men 97. They could do X-Men 97, and it could be Forge.
The
only thing I'm thinking is the blue coming out of it seems weird.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to lean into.
That really seems like you remember that. You remember when they had, what was the guy's name? GH whatever in the X-Force and all that. Remember that?
GW Bridge
and all that shit. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. This is what that shit looks like.
GW Bridge.
A little, but most of Liefeld guns, they look like big electric shavers. Like they're all big flat.
I understand, but I'm saying like when he stopped.
Well, that's why when you said X-Men, I'm thinking this could. I'm trying to think if it was like a Jim Lee design. And when you said Forge, remember there was that one when Forge in the Savage Land, he's holding that.
It does look like a Forge. It does look like it could be a Forge.
Yeah. I don't know.
Anyway,
that's actually not a terrible guess there, BK. Okay. Messiah Complex Cable,
maybe
could be,
but that was also bulkier too. That was a take on Liefeld's guns.
A bit, but it's going to be this is already a bulky gun, but Liefeld's were just crazy bulky.
Yeah.
And with that wraps up our special report on the Marvel Legends.
Yeah, definitely was special.
Definitely special.
It wasn't terrible. I mean, I can't afford getting Marvel Legends anymore, but
no, it was nice. I mean, they put some decent product there.
Yeah, some cool.
Yeah,
stuff.
I like the new selection of figures. I think that instead of repainting the same old figure over and over again,
exactly. Like we're getting some characters they didn't make before. Like I don't remember a Lilith figure. I don't think they've given us a Dracula.
There is one. There's a little figure.
Is it?
Legend?
What else are you asking?
Dracula?
I don't know.
Wolverine?
There's definitely not Wolverine. I mean, there was a Voodoo, but that Voodoo is a lot better than the Voodoo. The Voodoo was just
this was a better.
Special shout out to our Marvel Legends Insider, Brainbuster, for hooking me up with some news. And then
thank you, Brainbuster.
Yep, thank you so much for keeping us in the loop.
All right, we wanted to get to our reviews then.
Sure.
All right, let me run the thing. All right, take it or leave it. We will start with our comic reviews for the week. And we are going to hit up the books that you viewers voted for first. Starting off with Batman 149. I was hoping we were going to get something different because I feel like we've been reviewing Batman every month. But I don't know. I keep reading it anyway, so I'm going to read it regardless, so it doesn't really matter much to me. That said, I don't know. What did you guys think of this? I mean, I could give mine take first if you want.
Oop,
there we go.
I don't know. Maybe I wasn't looking forward to reading it, so I already had, I'll be honest. I had a bad attitude going into this book. And then I was just like, of course we're reading this book. Of course, this book is exactly what this book is. Of course, I'm bored shitlit. Because you know how if you start reading something out of like that, I was not
that kind of attitude.
I wasn't objective reading it, so I was kind of like,
because
I get it. Fucking Batman fanboys are gonna say this is the best shit ever. Well, this is the problem. I had to read this and Ultimate Spider-Man, and both books are the fucking same, pretty much. So, like,
well,
I mean, the fan base probably loves them. It's not for me,
same.
Huh?
I don't see how they're the same.
Well, because I think the fan base, no matter what we say, is going to love them.
Well, no. Well, this is what I'll say about Batman, because I haven't loved a lot of with the failsafe when you got the Zoranar.
Yeah.
This was more of like, they mixed in a bit of a wrap-up story with, you had the carryover with the Robin, and I thought that was a nice little tale of him being, so you had that carryover from that tale, as well as setting up going forward. And that part I did like. I like the idea of how they were setting things up a little bit differently, but not a complete like redo or complete status quo change. It's a slight change, but it's a change that I think fits and works. And
I guess maybe I would have been
help.
I would have liked more of a palate cleanser from the switch over, I guess is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get you, but I thought it
because once they started in the beginning, I was just like, okay, like,
yeah, I thought they did a good job of doing both, like cleaning up the mess of the last story and setting us up to go forward.
All right, so I'm gonna give it, but I'm gonna give it because it doesn't matter which one you put in, quarter thumb up or quarter. I really have it as, you know what I mean. So I'll give a quarter thumb up, I guess, because you make a good point. The second half, but I just like reading the.
I know. I mean, it is what it is, but it'll be fine. I think it'll be fine. And like you said, if you're a fan of Batman, you're probably gonna like it more than.
That's why I'm giving that, because we're probably the people who vote for a fan of Batman. So if you're a fan of Batman, I'm gonna give you. If you're not a fan of Batman, I'm gonna give you the thumb down. Crooked
for the casual fan. If you're not keeping up and you're not currently reading Batman,
it's a thumb down. You just might waste your time.
It might not be as a positive. You might as well just wait for 150, which will be
that's a good way to put it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, good way to put it. Yep.
But I've been reading
confusing. You had to read it a couple of times. Yeah, fair. Did we read
what else?
Grave last week? It was good. Okay, what's next?
The audience for our indie book decided they wanted to make us miserable and have us read Misery.
What was the fucking point of this book?
That's exactly. This is one that I got to, and I read this book, and I'm like, why did I just read?
You picked the wrong one, Dub.
I picked.
I went back and started.
I got one really good one, and I read this one.
I went back and started reading the first couple of pages again. Same thing. I was like, wait a minute. I had to miss something. Like, what's the point of this book?
I
didn't like the art either. This book made me mad.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of the art either.
Yeah.
The Simon Kudaransky, I think, is who did it. It's got that realistic look to it, but I don't know. The story was just. It was dumb.
The book was just distracting.
It was cliched, like old school 90s. It was just
all the way.
Well, it was scripted and plotted by the Todd father.
I know, and it felt dated.
It felt like exactly what
turd father, because this is a turd sandwich waiting to happen.
Is this the story we're gonna tell? Really, the street toughs on the subway? That's what we're gonna do. We're doing this now.
He found it like in a book somewhere, and he pulled it out. Yeah, found it. he found something old he worked on when he was a kid, and he decided to put it out.
And it's just taking like those easy, like with abuse and I don't know. It just was not for me. I don't want any more.
I think we said enough. It probably is going to kill in Arizona.
I assume all of us are down on
it.
Yeah,
I'm
okay. I'm not going to make sure there was no, semis. Because no, this was just not.
Yeah, don't waste your time if you're thinking about this book. Really, I wouldn't waste my time.
Yeah, and I was also confused at how old she was, and then it was not.
I don't know if it was jump in time. Is she a kid? Is she older? Is she?
Yeah. I don't know. This was just, and I wasn't keeping. I don't keep up with Spawn, so I don't know. Not that you
I don't
have
know what happened in Spawn Resurrection 1 to like know what the reference was. They referred back to another event in the Spawn book that I don't know.
Yeah. Why are we still talking about this book?
I don't know. Time. Yeah. All right. Well, we'll move it on to Ultimate Spider-Man 6.
Oh, I'm not.
I didn't hate this. I didn't love this, but I will admit, to Marco's point, I am a fan of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So
I mean, we get some Kingpin stuff.
This is a very familiar Spider-Man story. Oh, Spider-Man's beat up. He explains himself.
And I mean, it just is exact. I mean, this story has happened 853 times in Spider-Man by the same character, I might add. So
the biggest thing about this is that this entire issue could have been told over the space of 5 pages.
3 pages. Oh, 5. Okay.
I stretched it to 5.
Okay.
I've given it a stretch it to 5. But yes, they really stretched this thing out to the point where it did not need to be a whole issue of its own. Not enough happened to get my $5. So for that, I will give it a crooked thumbs up. I mean, it wasn't terrible to me, but I'm also a fan, so I'm biased. But not a lot. They really could have sped this up. I'm assuming, Narco, you're a full down or are you crooked down?
I mean, I'm going to give it the same thing I gave the Batman book. Star Wars slappies are going to like this book, but if you're not a Star Wars slappy, it's going to be a thumb down. If you're a crooked thumb down, it's a full thumb down.
You didn't get to this one, Dub, right?
I did not.
Yeah. Right. Well, so if you're going with a crooked thumb, that means people are going to take it.
No, okay, crooked thumb down then.
Then we're straight up even.
Yeah. Give me the crooked thumb up. People, if you're still buying this,
that's what I mean. If you're interested in Spider-Man,
if you're still buying this garbage at this point, what I say is not going to make a difference.
It's not a terrible story by any stretch of the word. It's just stretched. It's just not a lot happens. That's all.
Yeah, well, it's just stupid.
Those were the 3 that you all voted for, by the way. We could have.
Thanks for wasting my time this week. Really appreciate it.
I threw this next one in as a last-minute addition. Because no one else wanted to pitch anything. So I said, you know what, guys? Let's check out Scrooge McDuck and the Infinity Dime.
I thought this was interesting. I mean, I was just looking at it. I was like, okay, Marvel's taking it over. This might be interesting and fun, So I'm glad you chose it. And then I read it.
Go ahead.
It's fine. The art was the first story. Well, first off, it's not one story.
Yeah, it is one story, but it's.
Then they do 2 other. They do a flashback thing for.
They broke it up into a couple different parts. They have different artists working on it, but I think Jason Aaron wrote the whole thing.
Well, the last part was a already done story from.
Oh yeah, then they had a reprint. They had a reprint
in there. So I mean, all things considered, if you're not a fan of this, it's crooked thumb. If you're a fan of this, it's all the way. It's
kind of a fun Marvel parody, is what it is.
I don't know if I'm going to buy the next version, the Donald Duck one, but this one was a good one.
Yeah, it's a fun kind of Marvel parody. It's kind of what it is. Going back to our Spaceballs talk, that's what this is. This is the DuckTales version of them telling like a multiversal tale. I thought it was kind of funny that the Woodchuck hand guide was mentioned and brought up, and they had notes on a multiverse. I thought that bit was good. There was a lot of fun little notes in here.
It was a decent read. It was kind of fun,
but it was kind of long. I will say it was kind of long.
Did one.
It was probably longer than it needed to be. But overall, you probably could have trimmed some pages and made it a regular $5 book instead of beefing it up and making it $8 like they did.
Yeah,
That's all.
I'll give it a crooked then. Yeah, I'll move it to a crooked. That's a valid
I'm also going to give it a crooked because of that, because they could have tightened it up. But outside of that, it was still pretty fun. And then our last comic review of the day, and something that will feed into the rest of our show. G.I. Joe. Destro.
Thumbs up. That's all you got to say. Get the fuck out of here. Close it down. Good covers, good book. Everything's great. Keep it coming.
Yeah, there's
dude.
Really
I mean, even
much else to say.
Yeah, right. Like
it was that good.
That's true.
How they brought in characters too into this is awesome. Like everything was awesome about it. They brought in characters a certain way that you get to see later. Kind of fun. Like a lot of good stuff. A lot of good characters.
Yeah, they kind of like tie into some stuff that's come before in the regular G.I. Joe mythos and building into something new. They kind of put Destro in a place where you understand where he's at and his relation to Cobra Commander.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of fun.
There's a couple characters in there that might be related. That the art was a little interesting on them.
I will agree with that.
But I liked what they did. I liked what they did there. You see what I'm saying? I liked what they did there. I really liked what they did there with the panels. So I don't know.
But yeah, we had the first few pages already.
BK, I don't think there was somebody beating the drum higher ready for the even when they announced the titles. I don't think. I mean, what was I gonna say? It sucked. Like I've been pounding the table for this title. For
they gave us the preview in the last few books, so we knew the first few pages already.
And they did. I mean, they could have flopped it after the first 5 pages or whatever. But I think the add-ons, like I said, a couple appearances in there. I think they did a good job with the appearances. I think they did enough callbacks to it, and.
Me too, Mighty Mike. That's why I got it.
Look at the buy shit on everything else. Love G.I. Joe. Ooh, these men. Hey, Matt, you read those trash books we had to read, and then read this book. Maybe it's because I read the trash.
I saved this for last. I knew what I was doing. I saved this for last because I wanted to end.
He's all mad. We boo-booed his idol, the crap father out there.
That Misery book sucked.
That book sucked.
This book was so good.
And he was the guy. Hey, also too, he owes us one because he was telling us how great Ultimate Spider-Man was going to be for 100 issues. That shit lasted about 2
and issues. I'm still liking Ultimate Spider-Man, but
dude, that was 3. Dude, I'm about to. You keep saying that. I'm going to spoil what happened in that book so that everybody can boo you on you even saying that type of dog shit with how bad that book was. All right, this is great. Everybody took this at W. You read it too.
Oh yeah, thumbs up. Yep,
thumbs up. 3 thumbs up.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course you did. This was the best book of the week.
Yeah,
I could not read this one.
Yeah,
Matt, why do you hate Destro and G.I. Joe though? Let us know. Yeah, I mean,
why do you hate nice things?
Why do you hate nice things? Why do you hate nice things? That's all I'm asking. I mean, I love this book.
So,
this is so good.
Matt, you really want to? Are you really trying to defend Misery?
Yeah, bro. I mean, I don't think
we can get. We try not to spoil things. We can get into it and get into the
if you try to die on that hill that turd hill that is Ultimate Spider-Man, I have no problem shooting a big old sponge grenade.
The lazy shortcuts he took and we're gonna make this feel like it's edgy, dude. You don't need to put that in there, and then you're not even following up on it. Like, what's the hell's going on? You're just casually throwing in spousal abuse into a comic just for no reason.
That shit. Even the chat was saying they didn't understand that Batman book because it was written so fucking half-assed. So I don't know.
It was just not good.
Plus, we gave Scrooge pretty good review for a book that.
Yeah, Scrooge wasn't bad.
Wasn't bad. All right,
I also defended Batman.
So before we get to the next segment, Pete, can I do a follow-up on something really quick?
Sure. What do you want to go back to?
So you got it. I got it right here. So here's the gun we showed earlier, right?
Oh boy.
Right? Okay. Look at this cover.
Extra. Oh shit. Boo.
There's the gun.
Yeah.
That is it. That's it.
It looks just like it to me.
It is. That's it. Yeah. They're gonna do a fucking timeless thing.
Oh, Kang.
Well, we could just be doing Kang.
Yeah, but that's
Could be a
the
Kang
timeless
somewhere.
gun in Kang, so it's gonna be a Kang timeless gun. It's gonna be stupid. Or so we're gonna get the clock. That's gonna be the fucking Build-A-Figures, the fucking time.
Miss
Minute.
How you
Miss
gonna build
Minutes. Miss Minutes Build-A-Figure.
2 hands,
No,
2 legs, and a
Minutes
circle
Build-A-Figure.
fucking jerk.
No, but you know what? They're probably gonna do like those mashup type characters that we got out of that thing.
Awesomely, stupidly, no. No,
Then
thank you.
what was the one book? It was like Iron. Who was Iron Fist?
I said no, thank you.
I don't know.
Thank good day, sir.
I said good day.
I said good.
You get nothing.
Good day.
All right, I'm gonna get rid of those so they don't take up space in our.
Yeah,
That's
good
all right.
day.
We got enough. Good day. Once I can clear out all these GI Joe slides of all the toys, we'll be fine again. It's just
All right. Take it or leave it.
All the space.
Take it or leave it.
All right, for streaming, well, BK just wants to keep shitting on this show for some reason, and I don't understand it.
Well, I mean, maybe if his parents were better, they raised him better, he wouldn't be so negative all the time.
I mean, well, this is what we talked about when you were gone for a stretch, when you were saving your neighbor with the boat.
No, that's not my neighbor. That's
This
just
isn't
some
the great.
dipshit
I'm not
hillbilly
saying
that
this is
sounds
the
stupid.
greatest show in the world, but it's not that bad. Like, I don't get all this hate that this show is getting.
You know what somebody said? He goes, I'm not a fan of Star Wars. I'm not a fan of like their cinematic stuff or like any of it. He goes, this just seems like a sci-fi movie that's got a Disney budget. I go, yeah. But like, I mean, I like sci. I used to watch a ton of this shit on sci-fi that did not have Disney budget. So I mean, he's like, I don't understand why people are hating it either. He's like, it's just whatever. I mean,
Yeah, it's not great, but it's not terrible.
I don't
either.
think people are really hating it though. I mean, come on, dude. They review bomb the wrong. Like, if you hate something, like there's a fat turd that hates me. Like,
no.
absolutely
Well,
hates me. He
people are
watches me
getting
all the
riled
time.
up.
He makes sure he comments perfectly and everything.
People are getting
screwed it up.
riled up pretty easy. Like I was explaining to Dub. This is when you were gone, so you missed it. I'm just going to quickly recap. Like my buddy that I sit next to at work at the office, we were talking about this, and he was going, "You probably like Acolyte, don't you?" And he's like, "Oh, what's the deal with these woke characters?" Because of the last episode, not spoiling this episode, last episode with the witches. Like, why they gotta have two moms? And I'm like, what's the difference? Like, who cares if they're two moms or if it was a mom and a dad? Doesn't matter because the twins were created using the Force, which wasn't a new idea because they already gave us that dumb shit in Phantom Menace. So it's not a new dumb idea. It's an old dumb idea.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, first off, like you could also explain that they didn't have two, that they had 300 moms or whatever, which all the mothers, like, if you really want to go into it, I'll sit you down, but they don't want to sit down and talk about it because I can point in Legacy where these concepts have already occurred already.
All this stuff has been
the people. I think
new.
A lot of the people that are like doing the extreme hate towards this are the ones that already hated it before it even started.
I think, and by the way, if you don't like, if like you have got complaints with 3, especially considering it's a flashback, or to a fair point, like I don't know, doing the whole cult, like we're gonna do a dance fucking party in the middle of a show. That's a fair criticism. You can have fair criticisms. I'm okay with it. Yeah. Where it wasn't, but they didn't just have 2 moms. They literally had like 300 moms. So it doesn't matter because the whole covenant was raising them. But here's what and by the way, the fucking lady who she put the forced pregnancy in, or the spell pregnancy in, also referred to her as mother at one point. So why don't they care that the mother, and then that would make her daughter, who magically impregnated her with 2 twin kids who call her mother? That's ancestral. Why are we having that talk? Why aren't we talking why there's incest in fucking Star Wars?
Well, we don't need to go there. Don't you feed?
I'm just saying it's as ignorant as what the fuck they're saying at this point, right?
It's all.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff that's been in Star Wars already. They're idiots. I don't take any of that seriously.
The point is, this overall story is not terrible. It's a little.
Yeah.
It's a little telegraphed. Like,
I understand people. Matt's complaint here is exactly what I understand, because JJ has a similar one. They hate it when they do flashback episodes. I get that you dislike that. I didn't dislike that at all about it. I don't have a problem with flash, especially when it's doing something to tell a story. I still need more
flashback. They got to finish the flashback to explain.
Right. Well, I don't think they have to go that far. Yeah, they do. Like, if you don't like flashbacks, that's you can criticize. By the way, let's make sure we can criticize.
We're going back. We're going back to that night because they got to explain it, because it don't make sense how they left it.
No, but I think you could do it as well, Kaiser Sose at the end. I think you could Kaiser Sose it at the end. So
I don't think you need a Kaiser Sose moment for that.
Where you kind of do like the last 12 minutes, they just explain all the flashback things, and you get like quick glimpse flashback to explain.
No, I know what you're saying, but
POV.
I don't think there's a Kaiser Soze moment because I think that stupid moment's already been telegraphed that you know who the master is. And if you don't, well, then I got some real estate I'd like to sell you.
You might not. I actually think you might not, Pete. I think I got some real estate for you. I got a bridge for you. Got a bridge. Anyways, yeah. Yeah, I mean, if you don't like that episode, I can give you that. I don't think it was that bad. It didn't ruin the series for us. I don't know if I like the dancing part of it. I know people don't like the flashbacks. Okay, who cares?
Wait, what are you talking about? Dancing?
3.
Yeah, no, we're not talking about 3 now. We're talking about 4.
That's what I'm saying. Before. But what I'm saying is 4, still great. It was great. It was absolutely, dude, it was good. They stopped it right where they should because you hated where they stopped it. You had to hate where they stopped it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It moved once again pretty fast. I know it's 4 minutes shorter than the normal, than the shortest episode so far, which is episode 2, and it's on average probably I think about 8 minutes less than the other episodes. But it felt short. But I think that's how they did it with the pacing because it seemed like a race. They did a great job with it. Are some of the lines going to be corny? It's a sci-fi Space Odyssey. You're going to get that shit. And we were joking around too about how some of the viewpoints looked like $1 million viewpoints. And then it looked like, the theater fucking painted some of the shit. So but that's okay. It gave that campy feeling. Yeah, so overall, good stuff.
It's just, I think just the blind hatred is just getting ridiculous to the point where people are review bombing the wrong goddamn show. Movie. Yeah, you know what I mean? They're not even review bombing the right thing.
It's like when we're talking about comics and we're talking about Star Wars, then we get this comment. I love you, John, but I don't know what you're talking about. That's the kind of review.
I think he's watching the toys right now. I think he's behind. It's okay. I love John. He's just behind.
John's great.
It's like the people get upset. It's like, well, why did they?
You did it? I thought that character was fucking hilarious. We're not gonna ruin it. Miller. I thought that character was.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, so don't.
Basil?
Try not to.
Shh.
Basil?
Why do I have to shush?
Basil?
It's not spoiling anything. Oh, I told it has a name, and that's the other thing. I was gonna go with that. People getting upset about wondering what gender the creature was. I'm like, it's a fucking rodent
creature.
Man.
Yeah, shut the fuck up.
Yeah, she's probably not sure. How are you sure what it is? It's grunting and chirping at you.
Oh, you like Saul? I think Saul's doing a great job. Yeah,
I like Saul. But that all said, it's not the best show in the world, but I'm enjoying it.
Hey, look, for what else is on TV right now, it's pretty damn good.
And I'm not being paid by Disney. We actually set aside the time, and I had to remind my wife. I was like, time for Acolyte, because I got her on board at least to watch this one. She missed Andrew.
I get it. Hey, look, you can, like I said, I'm not immune to legitimate criticism. You can say I dislike something.
There's plenty of things you can criticize.
What you can't do is just say words and then say, and that's why it's bad, and that shit you said makes no sense. So, change of mind. Okay, whatever. All right, so we're taking it. All three of us are taking, or two of us see it. Okay.
Yeah. Dub didn't get to this.
I didn't see it.
We talked about this already. Yeah. But right. I did manage first thing this morning. I did watch episode 3 of Who Killed the WCW. I'm all caught up because I did finish the second episode, and I watched the third episode this morning with my coffee.
I will tell you this. I blame everything. I blame everything on Russo. I think he's a crap bag. I think he ruined some of the best stuff in wrestling. I think he always has. I think he thinks everybody else is a mark, but he's the actual mark. And and this one kind of gave you. They didn't shit on him, but they really didn't let him get away with his normal. No, they let him get away with his normal bullshit where it's everybody else's fault. They showed you what he did, and he actually did that.
That's what I'm saying.
He put himself in wrestling. And then the greatest thing that Goldberg ever did, pause. No, wait, so you guys can't clip that bullshit.
Oh, I bet. Don't you worry.
Was when he slammed fucking Russo through the wrong fucking panel.
When he wore the Giants gear?
Yeah, when he wore Giants gear and knocked him out, so he never got to see. So Russo never could wrestle again.
He did it to me intentionally.
Come on. Goldberg doesn't have that type of skills.
If I wanted to hurt him, he would have been much more hurt than that.
I don't know. He probably would have if he wanted to hurt him, but you can tell that I mean, once again, you did limited training and you put a maniac out there to spear people. How's that going to turn out?
Through a steel cage.
Yeah, through a small. No, he wanted it through the door opening, which is smaller than the cage thing.
Yeah.
And he's lucky he did. And that's not what gave him the concussion. The gave him the concussion was when he, if he did get through the open door, he probably would have killed him because Goldberg smacked his head against the freaking concrete, dude. Like you're an idiot.
No, he hit the metal, the bike racks.
Oh yeah,
the audience away, and his helmet flew off. Yeah. Like that's, but it wasn't even like a real helmet. It was like one of those kids' helmets. Like I'm like that's not real protective gear that you wear.
I didn't see this episode. I haven't seen this show yet. But even without seeing this show, I knew that Vince Russo was going to be the answer to this question.
Oh,
they didn't let him go. He said a lot of dumb shit, and they immediately showed how what he was saying wasn't aligning with.
When he started, that's what I'm saying. Like they didn't let him get away with it because a lot of people now. There's a lot of rewrite. There's always been a lot of rewriting of this time and era, and like because WWF won, they get to rewrite history. They get to rewrite a lot of history. I mean.
It was interesting when they were getting into the whole Hogan and Bischoff and the
but as you heard, the guy did. But and this is where I think like.
But what I'm saying is, it was interesting how they let all these people say their piece, but it all can't be true. Like it all can't be true.
No, but the one thing that I will give a little bit of credence, and I've never been a huge. I understand what I think Bischoff made some big mistakes, but the one thing that I will give him credit for, and I love Nash, one of Michigan's finest, but those two guys, especially in this 3-part series, especially in the last one, episode 2, those guys admit Bischoff does here too. Hey man, I thought it was going to play this way and it didn't play well. That's my bad, but like that didn't Russo comes in there and goes, yeah, it's the best rating ever. And they're like, yeah, no, we actually looked at the ratings. He goes, you go on the internet and find the ratings.
It's not about wrestling. This is a TV show.
Yeah, he goes, they go on there and they look at the ratings. The ratings are shit. They're like, what are you talking about? Like,
he's like, I'm the best thing on this show. So
yeah, he thought he was the best thing on the show.
I'm better than 80% of the roster.
Dude, this is the funniest part. He tried to claim that the Rascals loved him so much that when he quit, they left, which wasn't the case. Because he didn't put them over. He ended up putting himself over, which was stupid anyways. And they actually left because they had more money. And plus, most of them were psychos anyways. And all of them besides Saturn are dead, right? Because isn't Benoit dead? Guerrero's dead. Well, Kidman technically wasn't one of them. Was he? Was he one of the Rascals?
It was those two. What's to do with the
Saturn, Benoit, Guerrero, Malenko?
Malenko. That was what I was thinking.
Did Malenko come? Malenko came over, but Malenko ends up. He has problems in WWF and ends up becoming a instructor and
agent,
booker and agent anyway. So I mean, he did go with that and Saturn.
The man of 1,000 moves.
A lot of it didn't make sense of like that again. Bringing up the Hogan bit because it's like, well, he's got creative control, and then Russo saying, no, everybody knew what I was going to do. It's like they didn't know what you were going to do.
Yeah.
Everybody was saying they're shocked. Why are you saying everybody knew what you were going to do?
Who, Russo? Yeah. Well, he cut that.
Like it doesn't make sense. You can't say no. Everybody knew what I was going to do. Like no,
apparently, like even BK or not BK, even Booker T, who admits that Russo got my name.
I'm like, well, I'm not going to let the chance slip by. So
he's like, it made me like I think they fucked up. I mean, he was pretty honest and brutal. He's like, oh, well, I think you fucked up, but I'm not going to let the chance slip by. I took it. No, nobody knew that shit. He's like, I just took it because I was there. And DDP says some like great stuff about him. Like Booker, like DDP's shoot on Booker T in that, I think is probably underviewed because of it. He says some nice things. And it's really cool. The DDP Booker T thing's nice. It's good to see people. Even Nash goes like, yeah, y'all say the Poke of Doom sucked, right? And then he shows the fucking Russo thing.
The blood.
The blood thing. He's like, They tried it 10 times and it missed. 10 times and it missed. He's like, so you tell me what's worse. Oh, it was funny. It's all Raven's Flock was good too. I liked Raven's Flock. It's kind of fun.
Because of Raven's Flock is why my cousin Vince got that mask from Rey Mysterio.
But Raven's Flock was a Bischoff. See, like that's what they were. Russo tries to paint this card, and so does Conan, which that fucking guy's
K-Dog.
Yeah, what the fuck ever. They try to act like none of those guys got a push.
Vatos Locos forever.
Yeah,
Cranberry Bowdy.
But yeah, Conan's biggest push was when he hit the NWO and was coming up. And same thing with Raven's Flock. Raven's Flock was a thing that came under Bischoff too. So saying that all those mid-card guys weren't getting pushes, that's like saying that guys like Macho Man never got all the Intercontinental people, Mr. Perfect, all those never got a push.
Jericho was a Bischoff push.
Yeah, Jericho was a Bischoff push too. That's what I'm saying. Who's that?
He was the Lionheart, and the Lion came all that stuff came from.
Yeah, I mean, it was. Well, here's the thing, Miller. If you didn't see it, this is a good position to put yourself into to watch it, and then you might go back and watch some of the WC.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
83 weeks ain't no joke.
Era either. I didn't watch during this era either. I knew bits because you hear stories, but
shit, I had a Wolfpack shirt and an NWO shirt. I ran at. They tell this funny story.
No, that makes so much sense.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I used to run a Wolfpack. Yeah,
that makes so much sense.
Yeah. Oh, I love those.
That's why
dude, you had so many guys. But hey, you got so many wrestlers coming out of Michigan at that point too, right? And you got Razor Ramon coming over. Like you have to admit at the time, if you were watching wrestling at the time, you have to admit that the WCW product, not when Hulk first went over, but when Nash and Hall went over and Six for the first 1, 2, 3 kid went over for the first time. That was the best wrestling in a decade before and a decade after. It really was. That it was really great. And then they fucked it up.
Mm-hmm.
They fucked it up. But you can
agree.
both things can be true. But I'm not just saying like the NWO angles. The Raven's Nest was good.
Raven's Flock,
or Raven's Flock was good. Sting before they did whatever. You wouldn't have known about Malenko, Perry Saturn, super underrated. Both those guys are. Benoit, who I know he got his push in WWF, but really wasn't he a Four Horseman for a while?
He was part of the Horsemen,
He's part of the Horsemen. People forget that, like when Hogan was there.
Him and Malenko were.
Malenko was part of the Horsemen too. Yeah, people forgot about that. It definitely helped Flair out with his career because Flair wasn't selling. I mean, he couldn't sell tickets. You could not sell tickets. You got Kanan, or who was the one guy? Who was the tall guy that played at one point? Wasn't he like a Sub-Zero ripoff? And then who has it better than Kanan or whatever? Guy ended up better than
Canyon.
Yeah. You had that guy. You had a bunch of mid-card dudes that were doing pretty good work over there. And if it wasn't for, I'll be honest, if you like any of that cruiserweight stuff, if it wasn't for the Bischoff that time period of WCW,
Juventud and
Psychosis, yeah,
such good stuff.
If you didn't, so like, well, I always find it funny that Meltzer hated WCW when like it was a bunch of like there was a bunch of stuff going on. I mean, I know it wasn't New Japan, but some of those guys did go to New Japan out of the Luchador school and did a little bit of work there. Then they went back to Luchador stuff and did it. You'd figure that he could have hightailed him stuff onto that Luchador stuff, but he hated it. So, I mean, if you like Mysterio Jr., all that stuff comes out of that era. It's not just a bunch of dudes doing like pokes of doom in like super kicks.
Yeah, it wasn't just
it wasn't just David Arquette being the heavyweight champion.
Well, but hold on now. David Arquette was in 2000. That was the first off. That was a Russo thing. I think
that was part of this episode.
That was Russo. Oh my god!
But hold on, that Russo thing also. You're talking about 95 and 96 when you get the NWO originally coming in. 97 up to probably about 98 when you're getting all the mid-card luchadors wrestling in there. You're talking like 2001 by the time.
Yeah, that was just.
Yeah, I mean that's
when Russo came back. Didn't he leave and come back? Wasn't that part of it?
Kind of, but he didn't really leave. He was still there. They had what's his name? They had.
Talking about
Russo left for like 3 months, and they had what's his name?
He left for like a little bit when they were like, "Oh,
like a couple months." They had
who's part of committee? I'm going home.
What was the guy that they had him run? He still does shit all the time. The old NWA guy that that ran the book sometimes too.
Sullivan.
Sullivan, yeah, they had Sullivan running the books for a little bit.
Yeah. No, but Russo came back when they brought Bischoff back, and then the two of them were.
Yeah, well, they were fighting back and forth. Yeah,
fighting back and forth, but also kind of working. I don't know. It was weird, but yes, the David Arquette bit. At least some of them admitted that they thought it was a good idea and they were wrong.
A lot of wrestlers no. Bischoff said it was, but the wrestlers
said I thought we could like take the heat for a couple of weeks and we'd be able to get past it, and the publicity would have been worth it. And he was wrong. He kind of admitted that he made a bad call there.
Yeah, I mean, Jim Cornette would have had a heart attack with some of this stuff. But you got to remember, all Jim Cornette's bookings weren't the best either. So, but you also DDP, who's an awesome guy. You got to remember, if it wasn't for Bischoff, he was a manager, never would have got a push.
Yeah.
He got brought in because he was a buddy. He was a buddy to Hall, because when Hall was young, he was the manager. Pulled him in, did some good stuff with him. And DDP, say what you want, but like, you're not getting Stone Cold Steve Austin, the rattlesnake, without DDP. You're just.
I'm also going to give Arquette probably the kudos for what Booker eventually did get the belt.
Oh yeah. Read that. Yeah, that's actually what. Yeah, that's what happened. It had nothing to do with Russo. Well, it had something to do with Russo, but it wasn't in Bischoff and Russo, and it wasn't the intentional outcome. So, all right. Well, that's great. Watch it. I think there's one episode left. I think they're gonna say everybody killed WCW. I would say that it is very strongly, in my opinion, what killed WCW very strongly was one. All the executives that hated Turner for having wrestling on there and wanted to prove a point, and Vince Russo. Those are two things that killed.
Yeah, those two things.
Those two things. But you know what also did too?
The answer is probably going to be AOL. Because AOL is what killed WCW.
Well, when AOL, the execs, because they gave the execs more power than they gave Turner. The one other thing that I think is surprising and people kind of been hinting at but won't tell you is Thunder. They should have never.
Thunder.
I was only thinking about this, but like, how did you do Thunder? You should have had Thunder almost like if they did it like a next situation, but then you could bring in some more of those mid card guys.
NXT?
Next, is that what NXT or whatever?
What's NXT? They just say
NXT. Yeah, I think maybe you could have done it that way, but like you couldn't have had you put. Fucking,
you can't do the same show and then just do the same show a couple days.
Same show again a couple days later. Yeah.
It's not going to work.
Wait, who's hitting whose mom with a DDT?
I don't know.
Me? Yeah, I mean, I probably would have back then. I would have hit him with a DDT.
Our last streaming show review. Did you guys happen to catch this?
Fucking brilliant. Fucking brilliant.
100% yes.
And hey, look, man, I don't give me the bullshit about it. It's not exactly like the book. I don't care.
Nobody says that on the show except you. I don't complain that it's not.
Would I tell people not to tell me it's not like the book?
No, that it's not like the book.
Yeah, it's close enough. It's close enough. They do have to speed through some things, so some characters may not exist. But
hold on now.
Wait at the end of this episode.
So like last episode kind of was like it was a little bit of the book, but mainly like not hardly a lot of the book.
What, the last season, you mean?
Yeah, the last season. There's a lot of new stuff there. They did a lot of the book in the first episode. They did a lot of stuff in the book in the first episode, like a lot. Well, at the end, and then this, right? Like the last couple episodes, kind of the last episode and lean. But then like they changed some stuff around, right? And it's so minute that like,
I don't think they changed a lot around.
They changed some stuff around, but so minute that I don't even care. There's one. Okay, there's the major scene in here that something happens. Doesn't happen like that in the book.
What you say in the end?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, no, fair, because again, time period, they're sped it up. So I think
the whole thing a little bit different. The whole way like how it came
years
out.
Instead of 30 years. So there's not as many characters. So
not just that, like how the.
But yes, also they didn't.
You're talking about like milk and cheese, right? Like not or whatever. They're cheese and whatever.
Yeah, meat and cheese.
Meat and cheese. Yeah. So that was different than the book. what
Yeah,
they did.
yeah. That was different than the book.
And thankfully, they didn't go the route of just going over the kind of where Misery went. They didn't go where Misery went to get cheap heat.
I think actually, I'll be honest. I think it reads better, and it would have. I think what they showed you was trying to get the shock factor out of it. I think they could have done less of the gore portion of it,
but they didn't show you anything.
Yeah, you didn't get gore at the end.
Well, kind of. You heard some noise.
Yeah, you heard the noise, but you didn't even.
But what I'm saying is, I think it would have been more dramatic.
The book was way worse.
Yeah, I think it would have been more dramatic if you did. Portion. Yeah.
No, yeah. I think if you would have went the way the book went, it would have been again Misery. It would have been cheap heat that they were trying to get. I think this was enough. I think they towed the line of this was disturbing enough without crossing the line of being ridiculous, and
that's fair.
Well, but there's one part in it that I think would make a difference down the road.
I'm taking it that all three of us are on board.
Loved it. 100%. So good. So good. And by the way, Agon too, like how they did him, like because they show him on the throne at one point.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a brilliant contrast. They're doing the greens versus the blacks, how they're doing it, the Tudors, like the whole how England's all inbred and this is kind of been built off of Germans and stuff like that. Like it's the same thing here. Like they did a really good job here. Dragons still aren't real though, guys.
Yeah.
I don't care what Dom says.
You don't know. You weren't there.
That's what he says. That's what he says.
There be dragons. There could be.
He goes, but no, that's what he says. He goes, but there could be, right?
Yeah, there could be because you weren't there.
Well, he's like, well, nobody writes anything, right? Like how would you know? There couldn't be any records. I'm like,
nobody writes anything.
Well, he said there wouldn't be any records, so he assumed nobody writes at that point. I would really like to see one time what Dom thinks. Like
that would be the first thing you wrote down. I saw a fucking dragon flying in the sky.
Yeah. Well, even with that, like, wouldn't you just carve that shit into a fucking cave
or something?
Yeah. I love Dom, but like one day, and I don't know if it'd be. I don't want people to make fun of him though. So like, but I would love to hear one day what he thinks in the timeline of the War of Roses when that was going on, because I think he's just got. I think he incorrectly thinks when the war. So, and for everybody that doesn't know, spoiler alert: House of Dragon, any of these properties is taken off of the War of Roses. So, what I'm saying, like the inbred, Germans in England, like it's the whole thing. That's what the family houses were.
Spoiler alert!
Spoiler alert! Yeah, that the royalty over there is all inbred. Like, yeah. Anyways, but I would love to find out where he thinks, like, because this is taking off the time period. I'd love to wonder like what he thought like the average week maybe in Great Britain, maybe.
Well, it would be like going on hunting for bounty and avoiding the Sarlacc pit. That's where it comes from. It was whatever George Lucas wrote.
Yeah, no, I mean no. You haven't heard him talk about it before. I think he thinks. Yeah, no.
Well,
I'm not gonna speak for him.
Let's move on.
Who's the Michael Douglas character? What?
Yeah, huh? Michael Douglas. War of the Roses is a pretty good movie.
Oh.
Oh, War of Roses. I didn't say War of. Maybe I did.
Same difference. Right. Anyway, so take it or leave it. We have a film review because I went to the movies this week. I actually went to the movies today.
Did you see the thing that everybody's watching?
I did go and see Inside Out 2 with my son because he wanted to go see it. We had all for Juneteenth, and I got us tickets. He went to swim practice in the morning, and then we went for a noontime showing of this. And when I bought the tickets, it looked empty as shit. Like there was nobody there.
Really?
But when we were there today, I was telling Dub I had to kick people out of my seats because I'm like, no, these are our seats. N2 and 3, these are our seats. She's like, oh, okay. It was packed. Like it was pretty full.
Packed house, huh?
So there were a lot of people out to see this movie today, and
so what time did you go see the movie? Noon. So you got to see it in the afternoon.
Yep.
Well, so how much were the tickets?
Expensive.
No.
$15.
I still, because when I went on sabbatical, I renewed my AMC Plus pass, so I get to see whatever the hell I want.
I see.
And for like $20. Point being, I think tickets were like under $10 for adults.
Oh, nice.
My son was like $7.75. So I only
Oh,
had
that's
to buy
not
his.
bad.
No, so I only had to buy his, and then we got popcorn and our soda. Yes, we got popcorn. Not only did we get popcorn, I had to refill that goddamn bucket in the middle of the goddamn movie because my son is like a machine. Just. But yeah, the two of us polish off a large bucket of popcorn and got more.
That's awesome.
That's gross.
It was
great.
It was salty goodness. But the point being, the movie, speaking of the movie actually was, it was pretty good. It's continuing on from the original. So as the girl, Riley, gets older, she gets some newer emotions. It was kind of fun. The way they tell the story, it was very inventive. It was very well thought out. And it played out really well. Like the last two movies I've seen, which are basically targeted at kids, this and If, I got to admit, I thoroughly enjoyed both of them as an adult, like me watching both of them. And both of them actually do kind of tweak you a little bit in the feels at times. And it's nothing like to do with, or like big losses or deaths, thing like that. It's just something about this movie. It gets you. It makes you feel. It makes you feel some things. I'll say that. You can relate, even though I'm not a teenage girl.
Pixar, right?
This is a Pixar movie. I still was engaged and like.
Nice.
I get it. I get where they're going with this.
Well, this is the movie that's bringing people back to theaters, so that's awesome.
Yeah, I would recommend it. Again, they said they introduced new emotions for a kid going through puberty, and it reminds you of all those things of, well, what about your old friends? What about the new friends you want to make? Where are you going to go? Who do you want to be? All of that stuff. And it's interesting. Definitely interesting, especially when you see it with somebody who's going to basically be going
that
through
age.
Yeah. Pretty soon.
Yeah.
So it was entertaining. I'd say go see it. It's only like an hour and 45 minutes, so it's not going to kill your day if you go and see it. So I'd say go check it out. Adults, kids, whether you got kids or not, I can tell you, it's worth watching. It was pretty good.
Awesome.
But that is our movie review for the week. I hope to go see more. I still want to go see Furiosa, but I think it's basically out of theaters now. So I might just have to watch it at home. Plus, I don't have time. She bawled after the movie.
Oh, bald. Oh. I thought you said she bailed. I was.
Yeah, bailed. No.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it gets you. It's it'll remind you of some stuff. But it is like I said, it's pretty well done. It's pretty well done. There's no like hidden agendas or anything like that. It's something I think anybody can relate to.
I still got to see the first one, so I would watch it. I still got to check it out. So
first one was
I'm
fun
definitely
too.
Behind on my Pixar movies.
Yeah, first one was fun too. But yeah, the first one she was younger. She's more of a kid. This one, like I said, she was heading into high school. Like she was leaving middle school,
gotcha,
heading into high school,
growing older. So they could like theoretically keep going with that. With
in theory, they could. I think they kind of, well, even my son told me, so we got to stay for the after credits because there's an after credit scene. So I think they could, in theory, still make another one following this as high school. Yeah, sure. You're gonna add a few more emotions as you get towards high school, because this one was adding like anxiety and embarrassment.
Dick says the thunderstorm's coming his way. Yeah, I haven't heard thunder in a few minutes, so it's on its way to Sticks.
Thunder.
Well, now we got a couple more segments that I have to run, but you guys need to fill for.
Dude, can we? Okay, yeah, go ahead. Can we do Can one time we rank? Can we tier list Game of Thrones kings?
At one point, we can if you want, but you guys start talking for a few minutes.
I wasn't asking you. I was already talking, and then you did that. I don't know how well that would go over.
Yeah, I don't know how many people. If there's enough people that watch it.
Well,
I don't even know all the. I mean, I just know what I've seen in the show. So if that's enough, then I haven't. Yeah, I haven't.
I will tell you this:
all the Agons and
the Mad King.
The Mad King.
Just go someplace. Yeah, but they I think that the Danes came out with that book, like whatever it is. So the people that run, so there's this really big dork couple, DORK, and they actually, before all these wikis came out, they had created a page that followed like it's, I don't know, the thing's got to be 30 fucking years old. George R.R. Martin's, it's the, what the heck is it called? The Wiki of Ice and Fire, but I don't think it was even called the Wiki of Ice and Fire before. It was just called like something of Ice and Fire, the PFQ or whatever, FQX or whatever. And FAQ. Yeah, thank you. And it would just cover, it like covered everything. And for a while there, like when George would get mixed up, he'd have to call them to figure out like what characters what. No, I swear to God. Wow. So then finally they had written this. Like nobody really knew about him that much. I mean, people did in certain circles, but nobody really knew about him. And then they wrote this like encyclopedia. If you've ever read it before, it's awesome.
I have not.
What encyclopedia you're talking about?
The one of
Encyclopedia of Ice and Fire.
Yeah, the one of the whole land, Ice and Fire, that the couple wrote and was helping him. And then all of a sudden, you kind of see when then George kind of got into the TV thing, and they started, instead of calling.
Are you talking about the one that part of this show is based off of? Yeah. It's, what the hell is it called?
The Land of Fire and Ice Encyclopedia, I think is what the shit.
No, it wasn't the encyclopedia. It's the
This is the biggest book.
No, what the hell? No, the one, it's just about the Targaryens. It's the
No.
I'm talking about dragons. It's the Dance, not the Dance of Dragons, because
you're talking about the novel, right?
Well, it's not really a novel because the way that the book it's encyclopedia-like.
Encyclopedia-like.
So and so, like they showed up, and the brother and sister. Then they did this. Then they married, and this one killed this one.
See if it's a big red book.
Facts.
It's the big red book is called "The World of Ice and Fire: The Untold History of Westeros."
Okay, so they wrote that book first.
Okay.
Then when they wrote that book, the TV show, when they couldn't figure out, like when George was messing stuff up, they ended up going to that couple. And that couple did like a lot of consulting for the TV show. And then George was like, oh, this is my story, but maybe tailor it back a little bit. So we haven't seen anything really that they've done that much in, or at least been credited for a while. And thinking that if they still were there, but while they were there, their biggest time with him, they were helping him get those books. Like, what was the last 2 books he got out? They helped get those books out. Mm-hmm. So I have a feeling that part of it is he's not using them as much as he should.
Shit. It
Elio M. Garcia, and Lindo Antonsen.
Yeah, they're interesting looking people. What's his name? Elio or something like that?
Elio, yeah.
Mm-hmm. She's Elio Dutch, I think, or Danish.
M. Garcia.
Yeah, Dutch, Danish, Dutch. Yeah. So anyways, but yeah, so like if you ever want to get, those people need to get back put in the right place to end up getting these books done, because they are
these books ain't ever getting done.
No, he's pissed off at the whole HBO changing their stuff. So
I don't think it's it. I think he's more pissed that he realized that they know more than him about it, and they're getting credit for him, so he wants to slow roll him now. I said it before it was done, because when HBO went for them to consult,
when he got to the point where it had been like 11 years between the last book, and then he gave us a book that was half of the story, because like, shit, I couldn't even get to the other half of them, and they split the story and only told us about what characters were doing in A Feast for Crows, and then took another like 7 years to get us A Dance with Dragons. And then at the point of like, wait a second, all of a sudden now you're introducing yet another possible. Get the fuck out of here. You don't know where you're going with this.
No, so yeah, what happened? So if you actually look, there was that like 5-year segment where they had ended up putting out, I think, the encyclopedia. They put out those 2 books. And they had put out I can't remember what it was. It was a compilation of not just egg and whatever, but there was a couple other things. He really looked organized.
With the
and
egg,
he put out a huge
the hedge night with like those little stories, the novella type stuff.
Yeah, so it had all come together and start to make sense. And that book that ended up getting split in 2, it was because they were helping out with it, because they're like, well, you can't just do that. Like it won't link up. And then since then yeah, he's put out a book whatever many years later, and we're still waiting. It's been 20 years now.
Is it Fire and Blood? That's the one I'm thinking of.
So Fire and Blood was them. They helped get that one out.
Yeah. But there's the encyclopedia, and then there's Fire and Blood. But Fire and Blood reads like an encyclopedia.
Yes.
Or at least the audiobook. It just, like I said, it tells you, that tells you
I
the
think
original.
Fire and Blood's
OG.
the last thing that they kind of did with him, and then because they started helping out with HBO.
And they go through. They tell the creation of the Seven Kingdoms, and
because that's them. They're the ones who run the wiki page, or did.
Yeah, they tell us up to where we're at now, and they go a little bit beyond where we're at now. But so
they go further down because we know what happened. Well,
like I know what's going to happen. Ultimately, I know what's going to happen with this show.
So this is why I got a question for you. Since Dub's gone until Dub comes back. Are they going to do a third season? Because I
think so. Because I think I know where they're going to cut this one.
Okay, that's interesting. Maybe I'll ask you after the show where you think they're going to cut it. All right.
Yeah, I absolutely think I know where they're going to cut this one. It's going to be another shocking. Like the last season ended.
It's going to be that one.
That's
where you think it's going to end. With the three.
I think so.
With the three heads.
Yeah.
Okay. That would be a good. That would be a good place. See, I would hope that
we'll see the next season kind of tell a little bit of the other story, and then we'll see it
about eggs. We're gonna have the next one talk about eggs.
Yeah.
See, I would hope that they would get past it into the portion where they where they introduce the eggs, and then the next season's. Yeah. Can we spoil it?
We'll see. Again,
how old's that book? That book has got to be 2000.
I know.
10 years old. What was the name of it?
Fire and Blood. It's 300 years before Game of Thrones. It tells the start of the Targaryens, and it brings us all the way through.
It's called Fire and Blood. Fire and Blood.
And they just kind of redid it. It's still interesting. It tells you all about how Harrenhal was created and the myth behind Harrenhal.
It came out in 2018.
All kinds of stuff.
Really? 18, 19, 20.
That's what I mean. They took time to do this stuff instead of finishing the other goddamn stories. I mean, but to be fair, 2018 was still 6 years ago.
Yeah, still 6 years ago. Yeah, fair enough.
Like time's just flying. I thought
it was like did you ever? You know what it was? You know what? Yeah, it was really great. Oh, nice.
They did. But
you know what? You know what this reminds me of? Everybody always gives a crappy time to the guy that did Walking Dead because he screwed the first guy that had started to write the comic books with him, right? But what people didn't know was there was a portion where he then had gone with somebody else to do the novelizations of like these off stories, and they were damn good. They were super good. So if you ever get a second, you could probably buy them cheap now or whatever. But then they
never read any of that stuff.
Yeah, it was very good. A lot of it has to deal with the like backstory of the governor, a couple other things. But you could tell they were starting to get heat because the first couple sold out, and then it was like the writer's like, "Yeah, I love it as long as Kirkman's still blah blah blah." Sometimes the ego on some of these guys, like they're like just it makes your product. The one thing you can give Lucas is like, who cares what Lucas says? He'll let anybody do his shit as long as you put inspired by Lucas on the end.
Yeah, but then he'll still shit on you later if he wants to.
Who cares? Cash the check, and the story gets done. You know what I mean?
I mean, not to discount the fact that he's ruining his own creation by changing shit. Like, what are you doing, man?
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think he goes with the win of the fans. You know what I mean? But at least he lets it get out. They could have continued those novelizations. I think if they would have continued the novelizations of The Walking Dead with those side stories, it would have added content for the TV show. You know what's really weird to think about, though? Yeah, it is. But he's not writing those, is it?
Put this into perspective. Lucas making the special editions, tweaking around and fucking around with Star Wars, was from 1977 to 1997. We are now more than 25 years beyond the tweaks that he made with the special editions. It is more than the time going back to the originals. That's how far removed we are from that. It's just weird.
I don't know offhand. Is he writing anything in the Energon universe though? Or is it just
directly? who's not doing Real American Hero.
Nice, Frankie.
Williamson, like we just went over, did Duke and Cobra Commander.
Yeah, I mean, Duke and Cobra Commander are pretty damn good.
I think he's kind of overseeing it, but
which is good. No, which is good, but I think
you need it, but
let's not act like the shit that he did with Walking Dead, where he screwed a lot of people, was legit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Dan Waters did Destro.
I mean, you usually don't lose a lawsuit when you screw when somebody's literally a lawsuit that you screwed me over, and everybody says, "Yeah, you screwed me over."
Yeah, Kelly Thompson did Scarlet. I was just looking at who wrote these. So, yeah, he's not the direct writer.
Well, he's not doing anything on the G.I. Joe end of it, but I wonder about that other Transformer titles.
Oh, maybe did he write Void Rivals?
He might have done Void Rivals.
Yeah, he might have done Void Rivals.
All right, well, let's get into the list. When Dub gets back, he can kind of help us out with it.
Well, before we get to the list,
I don't think we can do both. Can we do both?
I can go through it real quick. I'm going to go through this fast because I took the time to make this.
G.I. Joe.
Well, here, we're going to do it. Even though it's not really Marco's segment, it's kind of his segment. So I'm going to run the...
I was supposed to be on vacation this week.
Yeah, this is my take. Yeah, we weren't even sure he was going to be here. But this is my take on his Under the Radar. We're going to focus in on the issue of Destro and the characters that we saw inside this book, which also, a few of which will tie into our final segment, which will be the quick tier list we'll do. But recapping, Destro, our first appearance, appears technically here in issue 11. This book's $7 to $20 these days, roundabout. I'm not giving you the eBay snippets. I'm going Marco style and just giving you some numbers. Because yes, this is him here in shadow. It's mostly in shadow, but this is the cameo of Destro. So call it a cameo, call it whatever you want, but that's Destro showing up in issue 11.
Also, Snowblow.
Issue 14, you get him on the cover. 15 to $20 on this one. Still not that bad of a price. I went off of actual sales, not asking prices. I went off of recent sales the last 3 months. And yeah, apart from being on the cover, he's fully in here. So this is your first full Destro in issue 14.
You know, we covered these earlier when we first started going through some of the stuff, and you're seeing the prices move a little bit steadier up, which is nice to see because it's been like, what, 3-4 months now? It's good to have this treasure.
Yeah, thereabouts. Mm-hmm. Also in this issue of Destro, we are introduced to
Bats.
So right here, we've got the Battle Android
Trooper,
whatever the T stands for.
Trooper.
I can't remember.
Trooper.
Yeah, Battle Android Trooper. But here we go. The bats. There's a look at the figure. I love this figure. They had the little extra hands that you could switch, like Crapjaw in the back, in the backpack.
The claw, really cool. The laser, the hand.
Yep. Cool stuff. This was a wave later, so we're not looking at this figure today. This was an 86 figure, I believe. But the first comic appearance, he's right there driving the truck on issue 44, chasing Lady J. This book, if you like bats, it's only $5 to $8.
If he's on the cover, it's a first appearance.
Yeah. Well, I don't think they showed up before this. I think they're also happen to be on the cover.
No, I know. I'm just saying, if it's on the cover, definitely first appearance.
Yeah. So I didn't show you any inside panels because they're on the cover, so I don't need to show you insides.
Right. And it's Optimus Prime there, too, in case you weren't sure.
He's not driving Motormaster? Also, in Destro, we got these guys back here. I used to like these figures. These came a few years later. These guys back here. These were Destro's guys. These were the Iron Grenadiers.
Yeah.
These guys had a cool look to them. This is when Destro got redone with the gold mask and he had the half cape and all that. Then he had these guys backing him up because you see him on the cover. Boom. There you go. With the spikes, the cape, gold mask on issue 69 of G.I. Joe. This is also still, it's only selling for $3 to $6.
It's a very cheap book.
You can find this for cheap. So if you want to get a cool Iron Grenadiers and Destro, they're on the cover, so you don't have to worry about what's inside. They're right there. Up next, also in this issue, and this guy actually showed up throughout Cobra Commander. I wasn't sure who he was at first. Do you remember this guy, Mercer? I thought he was just thrown in. I wasn't really thinking about it. because he didn't remind me. I didn't remember him. I didn't.
You're the Crimson Guard.
He wasn't a Crimson Guard. You know who he was with? He was one of Sergeant Slaughter's Marauders. He was this guy, Mercer.
What?
What the shit?
Yeah, I didn't know it until I was looking into it today. But yeah, this guy was one of Sergeant Slaughter's. It was a 3-pack. Like Sergeant Slaughter had a crew of 3 dudes.
The Renegades.
The Renegades or whatever. And this Mercer character was one of them. Now he's on Cobra's side of things. So he's not with Slaughter. But this guy didn't show up in the Marvel run. This guy didn't show up until the IDW run with issue 23. And this is a book that's surprisingly $5 to $10. This was Image / Devil's Due.
Oh, Devil's Due.
Yeah, this was like at the time when Devil's Due and Image kind of handed it back and forth, I think, a little bit. Mm-hmm. But that's when we got introduced to Mercer right down in here because he didn't show up in the Marvel run. But he was in the Cobra Commander story too. And he even got a 1 in 25 card back, even though he never got an original card back of his own. Like funny. That. So it was interesting. We're not done. We still got a couple more guys who showed up in this book. As we teased before. Again, not trying to spoil it, but
now you spoiled it. I was
talking about if you guys are still watching, you're getting spoiled. The twins show up.
That's what I'm saying. I like how they did that.
Yeah,
I know they looked a little weird, but I liked it.
They just look kind of like Tom Cruise in this. They got a little Tom Cruise Mission Impossible 2 kind of vibes going. But these are our boys, Tomax and Zaymot, showing up in this issue, and we talked about this one before.
Knee pads, those are cool.
This is also first Flint, I think, in Footloose, maybe.
First Flint, yep.
But we got one of the twins on the cover. So we're not showing you the guts, but $5 to $15 still. This is still a very cheap book considering it's not only got the twins.
Yeah,
it's got, like I said, Flint is a big GI Joe.
Got a lot of good characters. Well. Yeah.
And you throw in a Footloose and a random guy here or there. This is a worthwhile book if you can get it for cheap enough.
Footloose.
And I think finally in this issue, also spoiling things a little bit because these twins aren't the goofy characters you might remember from the cartoon because they call down some thunder from their Crimson Guard who also show up here, and the Crimson Guard are now a part of their crew. I also like how they did that. Now they kind of gave Destro's got his own set of guys. These guys got their own set of backup guys. Cobra, they're obviously got theirs, but the Crimson Guard also shows up here. And they first showed up in G.I. Joe Real American Hero 29. This is $1 to $3. This is a very, very cheap book, even though it's got Destro on the cover. But inside here, we are introduced to, while they don't look, and there's only one of them, Cobra Commander calls it a Crimson Guard. So he calls it out that this dude is a Crimson Guard, even though he's got a red pinstripe suit underneath his gear.
So weird.
It's comics, man. What do you want?
It's 80s Marvel.
It's 80s Marvel. So Larry Hama giving you what he was giving you. So that's them, though. So if you want your Crimson Guard first appearance, $1 to $3 ain't going to cost you a fortune and ain't going to break your back if this turns out to do nothing.
Not at all.
Have fun. Go digging.
It's a fun dig for that one. It's a good cover.
Yeah, go dig for some of this stuff. And this is the G.I. Joe version.
G.I. Joe.
Under the radar for this week.
Nice.
Love
good
it.
job.
So I try to go through it quickly so then we can get into our toys and do our final segment.
How many
of the
do we have
evening.
in the toys?
There's a lot. Well,
all right, let's get through it. Let's do it.
I got to find the thing first. Where is it? Here we go.
Oh, shit. Hey, before we do this, we forgot to mention earlier, just a picture of friend of the channel right there, Tony Fleece, hanging out, just so you know. Oh, by the way, that's BK back there. BK, we found you. All right, go ahead.
Why is this showing this bar? This is not supposed to be here.
Uh-oh.
Oh, well.
G.I. Joe. Okay, we're starting off 1985, wave number 4. Getting back to it, y'all like it. Hostile environment.
It's airtight. No, let me get rid of the brand because it's gonna be blocking. It's gonna be blocking their names up there, so we'll get rid of the Rennavision logo. But airtight.
I don't know, man. It's not somebody I ever wanted. Still don't want him.
What? He looks like he has a vacuum. You don't like that?
Yeah. It looks like he's there to clean up your spill.
What is that? What he did have was a vacuum?
It came. It had like a tube. I don't remember what it was. It had like a tube, but it connected to the.
Oh, the top does look like a vacuum.
Yeah, I think it is like a vacuum. So he's a cleaner. He's gonna clean up your messes. If you got a bad spill, he's like Bounty, the cleaner, meaner picker upper.
I mean, he's probably.
I'm not a big fan of airtight, but
because I don't think anybody knows him. Like, why would you? I don't even know this guy. He's trash. If you put him up there with 3 other Joes in this list and said which one of this guy's a fake guy, I would choose that guy right off the bat. He's fake. Well, I haven't trashed.
Give him a D.
Either D or trash him.
I'm fine with that either. I could give him a D. I could save him from the trash and give him a D.
Yeah, I'll say D. I don't want to put him in the trash. I mean, I don't love him or anything, but I don't want to put him in the trash.
Alpine.
You got to have the guy that cleans.
Okay.
The cleaner.
He reminded me of James Worthy because he had the goggles.
Well, no, but like the cartoon too made him all right. You know what I mean?
He had the pickaxe.
He had
a rope.
No, well, he had the shoot
grappling
thing,
hook.
the shoot grappling hook. Yeah. I mean, he's pretty.
He had pretty fun gear. So for that,
he's fun. He had awesome gear.
It's still not great. I'm still like.
The hat's stupid. The hat that he had.
The hat was kind of dumb. The hat was dumb. I'll give you that.
Stupid. But he had that Gatling gun or the whatever gun those
grappling hook.
The only problem was the fucking ropes suck. Yeah. Like they just
ropes always the rope. No matter how many you had to you could double knot it. That shit would still untie itself like it was a goddamn trick knot.
I think he's A or B, but
I say B.
Okay, put him in B.
Yeah, I wasn't a huge fan, but like you said, the grappling hooks and the gun that launched
the accessories.
The accessories save him from being low.
I liked him on the show though when he showed up.
The show helped. The show helped. They gave Alpine a good.
I put him in B.
A good, See, I was not a huge barbecue guy. The axe was cool. The look wasn't bad, and I liked how the gun went on his leg. Like there was one of the few.
He's just mid. He's just.
You could put the weapon on the leg.
Yeah,
but I wasn't a huge barbecue fan.
Yeah, me neither.
Me neither. We already have a blowtorch, right? So
we have blowtorch in red and yellow.
Well, yeah, but this guy was just chopped out in the door, I guess. Yeah. See,
it's a 3x3D barbecue. I don't know what you mean, Sticks.
He's been voting D on all of them so far. That's the third one in a row he voted D.
Bazooka. Well, I mean, that's a sweet stash, and you gotta love the football jersey, but I was not a big bazooka guy. Cartoon or figure.
This is definitely A tier.
Yeah, I wasn't a big bazooka guy. He wasn't my guy.
I loved it. I thought he was cool. I'd actually turn the gun around though, so use it a different way. I mean, dude, a stash like that, and he's a football player.
That was a sweet stash that he had.
Sweet stash, football player.
He looks like the Pringles man.
You want to know what it was too? The colors on him were real bright.
So, yep, the colors were bright. Yeah, with the jersey, and he's got the neckerchief. He's got a cravat.
Mm-hmm. No, that's actually he doesn't have a cravat. That's the V neck on his shirt.
No, I think they actually gave him a neck bandana.
Really?
On the face. Look at the figure. That's not just part of the shirt.
I thought it was supposed 3D. To be part of the
that's
shirt.
Raised. That's
no, because no. On so like, do you see the things around his arm? The stripes around his arms?
Yeah, those were
3D. Raised too. I mean, they were on the thing.
Fair enough. I still think they made it look. He's got a
neckerchief on. An 85 GI Joe. So where are we putting him? Because nobody
Sticks has a B.
All right, I'll take that.
I'll give you that for the bright colors, I guess. I love dreadnoughts, but
I do too. But this one was fucking.
This dude's face was so huge. This was like a JD McDonough head right here.
Mm.
Like the size of his head.
And too, the chainsaw thing fucking sucked.
Yeah, the chainsaw gun did kind of suck.
Because it was like you could use it as a gun, but then it was way too long. But
Yeah.
you had to do some. See how they have.
And again, look at the size of his head.
And you see how. Well, hold on too. You see how it's holding it. It has it holding it like this, right?
Yeah,
but you could never do
sideways.
that. You always had to do the thing where the one arm's here and this is here, and then it never was. It just
It never worked.
yeah.
Right?
See,
But he came with a gas can backpack.
yeah. Who cares? C or D? Actually, I'm almost putting D on this because they screwed him up so bad.
Those Brian Bosworth glasses are terrible.
Buzzer. Yeah, he does look like
yeah,
a
right.
Bob.
Sticks. Oh, Sticks said it already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, D. I think I agree with Sticks.
I mean, I'll go with a C at best. But
what? Well, what? No, but what part of this figure? Besides, if you didn't say he was a dreadnought, what part of this figure are you like? Damn.
If he was just the guy and he wasn't part of the crew, yeah, he
would be trash. So probably D is the best.
Yeah, I think you're right. All right, that I'll take that.
All right, next up, I love these guys. I think
these guys were awesome.
I think they're A tier. I think they're cooler than the regular troops.
I was a big fan.
Yeah, these guys are all right.
The weapon was awesome. The dude was
Their
awesome.
backpacks are dope as shit. Plus, they looked a lot like the guys that you put in like some of the planes. So, like, I don't know. I like them. Hey,
yeah. They also look like the Emperor's Guards from Star Wars because of the red, and I thought that was cool.
They didn't do too much with these. I mean, they're great characters. A tier.
No, I used to make this his own character. He wasn't a troop builder. A Crimson Guard. This was a separate character.
Me too. Yeah. The Crimson Guards had like special force abilities. They're part ninja, part like.
They were unique. Yeah. This was a unique character to me.
Mm-hmm. Agreed. Yeah, they were definitely like part. Like they had
They get backstories.
A lot of times they'd have like you take I would take a sword from a different character.
Yep.
Put him on it.
I think they with the new comics they're gonna do a lot better. You know what I mean? Like they're gonna flesh out some of their story a little. Like we already saw a little bit of the Crimson Guard in the new stuff. So
Duty.
I didn't like Dusty as a figure because of that weird cloth coming out of his helmet was so bulky and it was just kind of annoying.
But it was soft goods, which is something different.
It was soft goods.
It was pre-attached soft goods. And
I like the tripod on his weapon. That was
okay.
That was a fun little.
No, I was gonna say the tripod sucked because you always lost the tripod.
You always lost it, but it was a fun add-on. Like you didn't need it, but if you could keep a hold of it, it did.
And the only thing, the extra bonus for Dusty, even though it says duty here, is with Dusty, you could always put him into like. He actually kind of blended in with the dirt more than the other GI.
Just duty. Yeah, sorry.
He kind of blended in, which I thought was kind of cool.
Yeah, he was camouflaged. But
I mean, maybe C. I think Frankie C's good. I like him. I have him. I like him. But yeah, C was good.
Yeah, I'm fine with this. I'm not going to argue with C.
Yeah, C.
It wasn't my favorite, but I'll give you that.
I thought he was good, decent. What I do here? I already did him. Already did him.
Keep going.
Eel. I think the eel could have been better. Excuse me. I think the art on the eel was cool, and then what I wanted the eel to be would have been cool, but what I got,
the eel was fine.
You could have you could have put.
I'm a fan of. I like the. I know you're gonna say the color gray could be boring, but I like.
No,
the color gray.
That's not what I was gonna say. No, that's not what I was gonna say.
I was gonna say like the gray, red, and black. I like the look.
The figure was kind of chunky, and it looked like a Playmates figure more than a GI Joe figure.
I don't know about that.
The backpack was chunky and served no purpose.
Yeah, the
underwater gun thing was hard once again because that double grifter. They didn't make it where. Like if you put it, hold on, I'm doing the action.
Yeah, you're showing.
Yeah, if you're doing it like the gun's like this and it's sideways because of how you
have to hold it sideways. You can't,
and you couldn't do this because it wasn't.
I'll give you that. The weird.
I don't know. The flip flops are cool, and other characters had it. All right. I mean, I thought this is the weakest.
I think this is the flippers.
This is also it. I think this is the weakest of the water Joes. I'm just gonna say that. I think it's the weakest of the water.
Well,
Joes.
Deep Six kind of sucked.
Oh, well, yeah. I turned Deep Six into an astronaut, so that doesn't matter.
Yeah. Like, he can't even move his goddamn legs.
Yeah, because he's in space.
Well, fair enough.
Bounce. So yeah, I mean,
and also when
I'm talking about the finned characters.
Yeah, Torpedo was cooler with the light blue and the yellow. Like, he was brighter.
Yeah.
I'll give you that.
And he wasn't as bulky, but so go ahead,
Right,
put
so
him in B. I have it C, but everybody else.
I'm with C as well.
I'm fine with C. You
C?
sold me on C after you reminded me of better.
Yeah,
better scuba.
There's a lot of B's though, or two at least. So I thought there's 2. Okay.
Well, what about Frankie and Styx? Oh no, that's Dusty.
I like Flint.
Yeah, you like Flint.
Flint was I was a fan of any figure with a beret
and a shotgun.
Falcon, Flint.
Yeah.
Stalker. Those are my dudes. Like they have the berets. They're my green berets.
I liked Flint. I mean,
and I like you said, the sawed off, like the little
sawed off
on whatever. That was awesome.
You'd be kicking indoors all the time and just blowing people's heads off.
And
with that being said, probably a B.
Man, he was the Duke.
What? He was the guy
in the UK. He was the Duke.
Oh, was he? Well, he's the guy I put in charge a lot too.
Well, I'm saying because I think they introduced him later in the US for whatever reason.
99. I don't know if he's an S tier. I think he is B.
I might fight for an A, but I'm fine with B.
Well, I mean, I could give you an A.
I'm biased though.
Dub, where are you at it?
Oh, I'm down in C for this first.
Oh, you're incorrect, sir.
No, I am not incorrect.
But I'm fine with that. So I think we can B him.
He doesn't have an A. No, you got an S and a B. Oh, I got a B2 and C. Yeah, then you're an A. So okay, put it at B. Put it at B. That's an average.
Fine. I'm not gonna. It's not the end of the world. It's not terrible. I wasn't a huge Footloose guy.
Nope.
For everything about Footloose's accessories sucked. He sucked.
The helmet never stayed on.
No, and that gun's fucking dog shit.
Both guns suck.
Go try to put the gun on.
Either one of them.
Okay, no, this is the thing. The other gun, if you put it on backwards, it's not so bad because it's the one Bazooka has. This gun, you could never get it around the strap. It never was set
like you would try to put it underneath the backpack, but then the backpack couldn't pop into the back hole all the way. If you did that,
I'll be honest with you. I think this is our first trash. D. I like.
I'm going to actually agree with you there because again, nothing on this figure worked right to how I would want.
This is the Joe that you always let die.
And then when you have him just bland, he's just like a red-haired dude with a mustache.
He's a civilian. He's
never
a civilian.
even had this guy.
He's cannon fodder. He's an NPC.
Lady Jane. Oh, that's how her weapon's supposed to work?
I guess. I gave her other stuff. I like Lady J.
I would use it as a Gatling gun or a grappling gun.
I know she's got the short hair. She's rocking the baseball cap, but we didn't have too many characters
she
to
was
work
stacked.
with here.
Hey, she was stacked up top. They made this character very stacked.
So I was never a big Scarlet guy. I like Lady J. Cover Girl had that huge head, so that was always weird. So it was always Jinx and Lady J were like,
I agree.
The top girls
100%
to use in the storylines or whatever we're playing with.
What is the green thing she has?
I don't know. Like, it's like a
weird laser cannon.
I thought she was doing some surveying. Like she's we're putting in a mini market here.
She's a covert operations. Like she gets intelligence. So she's
so what's the thing that she has two hands on there that it's got
some weird spear gun for something?
Yeah, that's what I used it for.
A javelin.
Is this S or A tier? What is this?
I just gave her as somebody else's like M16 and was done with it.
B. What are we giving her as a grade, guys?
I'm an A or a B, but again, I'm biased.
I'm okay with B for her.
I'm A-ing her out, dude.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's where I was at. But
out of the lady, it's her and Jinx are towards the top.
Well, yes. All right, Frankie. Baroness also was there,
Baroness too. Okay, yeah, 3 A's. So all right, give her the B then, because Jinx is better, and so is Baroness. All right. We can't see that, but quick kick it is.
Quick kick.
Come on, who doesn't love quick kick?
I did, but I didn't. Like regular missions, he would not be involved. If I wanted to play Street Fighter, that's
I never no nunchucks. His sword would go, like I said, his sword went to a different character, which was the Crimson Guard.
Yeah,
he'd just come in. He'd come in, and I for some reason I don't know where I got it from, but like somebody had to have throwing stars, and he'd have a throwing star. He'd come in, and get smacked around for a little bit, and he'd just do some.
He was like Ricky the Dragon Steamboat.
Yep, yeah. S tier? I don't know if he's S tier.
I can't S him just because I did enjoy him, but I hated the fact that he didn't have shoes.
No, that's what Rogue looked like was her, dude.
And I was in karate. So at the time, as a kid, I was in karate, and I get it. You don't wear shoes, but at the same time,
he's not A for ninja characters. He's probably he's not top 3 even.
He would not get service at any kind of restaurant or store. He would have to wait outside while everybody else went in.
Secret or silent weapon. All right, well, B it is.
I'm at a B.
People had him driving vehicles and shit, bro. Like, whoa, that's rough.
Well, then, yeah, you don't see his feet then. You ever tried driving your car barefoot? It's the weirdest thing in the world.
Okay, so of the Dreadnoughts, this guy was a lot better. He had multiple. His actual gun weapon was cooler. You could do it. $45.
He looks like a live-action version of Pumbaa. Like his head looks like a warthog. His head is bigger than Buzzer's head.
Yeah, but I think because they gave him the mohawk and then they gave him the red glasses and beard, it kind of works a little better.
And I will admit, his weapon with the weird blade was cool, but the jackhammer, like he's just a construction worker, that didn't fly. That was a waste.
I don't know. I actually ended up giving that to a different character and using it as like kind of a weirder weapon than that. I didn't use it as a jackhammer.
But yeah, like the blade on the machine gun, like that was cool, but
I mean, we got to give it. Where did we put the other Dreadnought? D?
The other Dreadnought we gave a D.
Well, I mean, he's got to be at least B.
I don't think a B. I think he's C.
I don't think you like the Dreadnoughts.
I do, but I think the third extra dude is the top of my favorite of the 3. We didn't get there yet. Of the original henchman Dreadnoughts, he is number 2 out of the 3 to me.
All right, give him the C then. Give him the C. Give it to him. You can give him the C.
Wait, the other one was C?
No, the other one was
D. Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, he's better.
So then this one I'm giving C because I think the third one is a B.
Holy shipwreck.
Shipwreck
is trash, but amazing trash.
He was great on the show.
The birds sucked.
The birds sucked. It didn't stick anywhere.
Yeah. His weapon
it didn't clip on to anything. It didn't fit anywhere.
Yeah, the pistol with like you put it around your wrist so you don't lose it thing.
Yeah, that was.
Well, he had like something else. He had like this rope fucking thing.
And I didn't like the bell-bottom pants. The figure I did not like. The character on the show, they did a good job with Shipwreck on the cartoon. So I liked Shipwreck. I did not love the figure because he just didn't have a lot of use.
Yeah, he was pretty fucking terrible.
I didn't have a lot of maritime battles.
Even if
Frankie
you did.
likes him.
Hey, Jesus Christ, Frankie.
They gave him a lot of play on the cartoon, though.
Mm-hmm. Yes, he might be right.
I think just for the figure, it's just a C.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for Shipwreck. And then that weird rope, like whatever the hell that was that.
Yeah, that rope. It had like 2 like blades on the end of it.
And the thing is
that thing didn't last long.
Every knot you tied in a G.I. Joe rope just undid itself. No matter what you did. You could triple, quadruple knot it.
This one comes with what's his name, the dog.
Yeah, this was my favorite Snake Eyes.
Yeah, this is the best Snake Eyes.
This was the best Snake Eyes figure.
This one and there's another one in a late series where it had the cross.
The blue. Well, you got a little bit of blue.
No, there's the one that had the cross swords and it came with a Uzi or a Mac 10 and something. It was pretty fun. This is a way later.
Silver cross thing that I didn't like. I know what you're talking about, but I don't know.
Yeah, I thought of that.
This one, I was a big fan of Timber. I like Timber. I use Timber.
I will say Timber did kind of suck because it didn't have any color to it.
No, it didn't have any color to it, but Yeah, you need a pet.
This is
And
one that my wife would call GI Doge.
Between this, you had Shipwreck's Parrot and you had Spirit's Eagle, but both birds were hard to stick on anything.
Nah, Spirit's Eagle was until you broke it off.
Yeah,
S tier.
Yeah, this is S tier. I don't know how this is not S tier. Like
it is S tier. We can go through. We have a lot more stuff to go through. Let's get through this.
We got a few more. Yeah. Let's get through them.
I liked it. I actually really liked.
I did too.
Serpent. And by the way, there's the vehicle that you can put him in, the Snow Serpent vehicle that shot a bunch of stuff out. I mean, not to spoil anything. Am I spoiling anything later? No.
It wasn't specifically for him, but you could put him on. There were vehicles, and yes, there's
one that had like missiles that popped up and launched. I thought all in all,
I'm pretty sure that was a wolf, but I could be wrong.
It is a wolf.
Okay.
Wait, what? The vehicle or the? It might have been the wolf. You're right. It sounds like it was the wolf.
Snow.
Well, we do have a vehicle coming up that is the snow vehicle, but I think it's a Joe vehicle.
Yeah, no, the snow wolf is. Yeah, he was cool, and he had. Wait, where's his like little moccasin things? Well, they're in there. They just don't have them in the picture. He had a ton of accessories.
Man. Oh yeah, because I picked the picture that looked like the card back.
Okay.
But yeah, did he have the snowshoes?
He should have no moccasins. Yeah, he does. You can see him in the background. Yeah. He had a ton of stuff though. Like
yeah. I like the blue and the gray and the black mask.
The snowshoe, the missile, the rifle, the parachute.
There's a lot going on here. I was a fan.
This is A.
I'm an AV guy for this one.
They got to give you A because they gave you all you wanted with them. Multiple stuff, decent figure. What'd you have, Matt?
I think A is good. I like A for him.
B, C,
yeah.
A.
I didn't troop build. Like, I didn't have a lot of extras. Like, I got like one of every figure. Though.
Yeah.
So I would make these troops individual
characters, right?
Yeah. Well, too, if you had to fight anybody in the snow, you needed this character on the bad guys team.
What are we going with that? A or B?
B, I guess. The
B,
chat dragged
down. Crimson Guard.
Chat dragged down. All right. Televiper.
Oh God, his head was huge.
Dude, his stuff sucked. But he was a Viper, and
he looks like he has the Minions fart gun as his weapon.
Yeah, but you had to have Mainframe fight somebody.
This guy didn't even fight I had this guy fighting Lifeline, the pacifist.
Yeah, I don't even think his gun like shot anything. It wasn't a gun.
I think it was a sound.
It just sent messages.
Yeah.
Right. His back. Hey, if you the backpack though without the tube on it and the gun was pretty cool.
The backpack actually, I will. You know what? You're right. The backpack
was cool as shit. All right, C. Are we doing C or D?
Yeah, because of the backpack.
C maybe.
I'll
D.
Yeah, D.
D. Okay, put in D. D's fine.
Yeah, if you didn't attach that tube, like on the backpack was a sweet accessory. You're right.
It was a cool accessory. Oh shit! You thought this was the best.
This was my favorite of the three because he didn't have an oversized head.
What the hell?
And I was a fan of the Village People.
Then you should have liked Shipwreck.
He had the cool guy glasses, like the 80s style thin sunglasses.
Yeah, no, I liked Ripper better than him.
He looked like a biker.
This guy does look like he belongs in the game more than the 1980s.
This out of the three was my top Dreadnought.
Yeah, I would say you put it right with the other one.
Fair enough.
Yep. Put him with the others and move along.
Yeah.
Well,
C. Put him with Ripper. He's better than
Ripper at C. Yeah, he's better than Buzzard.
Buzzard looks terrible.
I know. Well, that's what I'll say.
S tier 2-pack.
I did love even with the stupid ass ropes that they had and their oversized pistols.
You never pulled the rope.
Just on their own. They were just.
I like the pistols. So also great story with this. So my dad, I had a bunch of brothers, but my dad sometimes wouldn't be great because he would buy stuff at the Blue Light Special and whatever. But my parents always make sure that even Santa Claus knew to give us even amounts of presents. So in 85, when I got this, I didn't have a present. And then my dad said, "Oh, hey, I got to go out to my car real quickly." And then he came back in a minute later, freezing because he went out in shorts and a t-shirt, and then goes, "Hey Marco, I think I found something in the snow. You should go out and look and see what it was." He had thrown this into the snow. He goes, "Oh, I think Santa Claus dropped it." This is my gift for there. Yeah, great. I mean, it's a little bit longer, and I almost used my real name, so I'm not going to tell the full story. But like, pretty much, my dad said, "Oh yeah, it was on the roof, and I think it fell down." And he came up with like this huge story.
He dropped this one.
He dropped it. Pretty much, he dropped it. Yeah. So
Santa dropped this one.
Double S tier on this one, especially for
you have the whole chat agreeing on this one.
Yeah,
that doesn't happen very a whole chat and PK.
These are S.
Yeah, I'm with you. The Tomax and Zaymot were all. It was a dumb gimmick for they both feel the pain. That kind of sucks.
Yeah, that's not very.
I actually liked it. I liked the whole thing. It was fun.
I thought it would have been better if you didn't feel it, but the other one did, like the Corsican brothers, where it was like you didn't feel if you got hit, but your brother felt it.
Oh yeah, fair.
You both feeling it.
Yeah. All right, you ready to do vehicles?
Yep, we got half a dozen, I think.
The buggy. Oh Jesus. What is this called? The crankcase?
No, crankcase was the dude, and there's also two pictures. There's the box, and then you can see the figure.
With the AWE striker. Yeah, crankcase.
Yeah, that's the guy's name is at the top. The vehicle's name is at the bottom.
Look at how Dusty's holding that gun. What are you gonna do with that gun? You're nowhere near a trigger.
Yeah. Well,
you're holding the
Gung Ho is also
Dusty's trying not to fall off.
Gung Ho can shoot once, but he's not gonna be able to pump that thing if he's holding it out.
Just throw it up in the air that way, like the movies. The buggy was very durable.
The buggy was kind of cool. Again, show the next picture.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The vehicles, I give 2. I give this one. You can see the
antennas suck because they break. The back end always popped off, but had a motor, so you could always put it back in, which is kind of cool. They had the grip bar on the back. They had side running boards, which you pretty much you didn't have to have them hold on to the top to run the side running boards, but you could literally put like 8 people to 8 Joes or so.
Yeah, they all could just be hanging on this guy.
Yeah, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's maybe 6, but whatever, all over the place. So it was a good vehicle. I mean, I don't know what the price was for it, but I assume the price point wasn't that expensive.
Yeah, I liked. I mean, for a Jeep type vehicle.
Well, also for a vehicle in general, the front, although it would come off, was easy to put back on. The back ends, the only thing that really the tires could come off and push back on. The only thing that really would break on this is the antennas. So the hardcore part of this is cool. You could also take the gun apart. So like if the vehicle flipped over and blew up, you could take a wheel off.
Well, that's why I like that. Look, it looked like the engine kind of comes out because then you can pretend you're doing work.
They're doing work on it, but the gun too, so the main cannon part actually would come off, and then you could split the gun in half too. So you could do all types of cool shit with this.
Yeah. So I'm at a B. I'm at a B.
Yeah, I'm at B too. B2.
I'm good with B.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was kind of a fun little for a little vehicle. It was a fun little one.
Okay, next up. This is the Frostbite. This is Snowcat. Snowcat and Frostbite. Frostbite, okay, snow character.
Not
the best.
Wasn't a big Frostbite guy.
I do like
Snow Job on the back there.
Yeah, Snow Job is on the back. I like the accessories to this.
Yeah,
I like his big scope gun. Skis. What was the name of was it the Fins that had like those assassin guns that were really cool in real life? And then I do like this thing because of a couple factors into it. It has the rotating like missile defense system up there, and it's got the 2 orange ones. Yeah.
I like that it was like you could put the characters inside and like the lid closed, like the the front it closed them up.
Yep.
I loved the sniper scope on that weapon. I didn't like Frostbite, but I liked his weapon because of that scope.
Yeah, the scope was cool.
Scope was awesome.
His skis are stupid or whatever.
Yeah, well, those were for the rocket. Those were the missiles.
Oh yeah, for the add-on missiles. Yeah,
those are like weird missile skis.
Yeah, skis. Yeah.
But I mean,
what's the white piece that's out there? What is the white piece that's just laying out there?
That was just like a piece that kind of like came off of the back, I think, that you can pretend like you're working on it. I don't remember if it was on the back or if it was in the middle somewhere.
I'll be honest, there's a lot better products than this one.
Yeah, it was just like a reveal, like some of the engine stuff. Again, you can take this piece off. It just kind of popped in and popped out, and you can see like engine work underneath.
Are we doing C on this?
Yeah, C is good.
C or B because I kind of liked it, but I'm fine with C. I'm not gonna.
All right.
It wasn't awful.
See,
it wasn't the greatest in the world.
See, it is. I can't.
See, it is.
Okay.
All right, we got 5 more.
Oh, the MBT tank.
Heavy metal.
And this actually was. It doesn't look like much, but it was kind of cool because you could open up like the inside compartments and stuff, and
batteries,
and batteries, and it moved. I was about to say about the trap.
It moved.
It moved. It was kind of cool, and it had rubber things, and it moved. It was. I mean, for this year of toys that move by itself and were functional. I mean, I'm not saying it was at any great pace. But it was pretty.
This one, I thought it also was aesthetically better looking than the other G.I. Joe tank. And you're playing with army dudes. You want tanks. This was your tank. Like
didn't quite move as fast as the commercial or climb stuff like
no.
But it was pretty good.
It still was kind of fun.
B or A? What are we doing with this?
I would go A because again, for a tank,
battery
was
too.
Tank.
Yeah, he's gotta be. I put an A. I agree with that. I agree with A. Anybody?
Mobat.
No. All right, the next one. The SS flag. I've seen this. I've
never had it.
Sold this like 10 years ago. I never had it. I had a knockoff version of this, which isn't as cool. I had a friend on the street that had this. I'll be honest with you, the shit always was in pieces.
I remember seeing this at the Sears Surplus near my house. We had Sears was a big store. We had a store that was called Sears Surplus, which was like a smaller version of Sears, and they had a good toy aisle, and they had this. I remember seeing it, and I remember asking, "Can I get this for Christmas, Mom?" And they were like, "Where are we going to put this?" And
it was always in pieces. Always in pieces. That's what I'm saying. Always in pieces.
There was no place for this. If I were to get one today, I don't have a place to put this.
I never even saw this.
I mean, like I hear it, like the mythology of this is good, but I never saw like I said, I had one friend who, kind of a friend.
I had a friend growing up too who had this, except I wasn't friends with him when he had this.
Who?
We didn't become friends till middle school. We were done playing with figures by then, so I didn't know he had a USS flag. So I never got the benefits of playing with it.
So like the myth of it and everybody not having it seems cool, but realistically, I mean, kind of maybe at best C, but it's probably D tier.
I don't know. Like if I could have had it.
Oh, it's all right. We're doing waves. We're good.
How could this not be the coolest thing in the world?
I had that. No, because I'm telling you. So okay, watch this. You see where that front part is, where the yellow and white
part.
That's off. 9.9s were always off. These guns were horrible as shit. Not going on there.
I just want to redo Top Gun stuff on this thing.
Yeah, but also too, it was just too. There's better base pieces.
Fair enough. I will give you that.
So probably C.
I will admit I did not have this. I did have the. We're not covering it today, but I did have the Terror Dome, and that thing was pretty awesome.
Terror Dome was cool as fuck. I didn't have that either. All right, put in C.
I did get that one year.
That's got it.
I don't know. I still think that feels low. That feels low.
Okay, who here's actually seen or played with that toy?
I know I get that.
I've handled it, but I've never played with it because I never had one when I was little.
That's what I'm saying. Well, I had it, and I'm telling you, there's a lot of things that I wanted that he had.
I know, but he still feels like sour grapes to me.
No, it's not sour grapes. I think
you could land your Sky Striker on there.
I actually think like playability. If you guys had the opportunity to play it, and I think it's the exact opposite is what I'm saying of you guys. I think because the untouchable item, you're giving it a higher ranking than it actually is.
Well, I mean, I'm just saying
that's
maybe
that's part of it, though.
No, it's not.
100%. Yes, it is.
We're ranking the toy on the toy.
But we never had it, so I can't really do it.
Well, then you guys can't rate it then, but I can.
But I can imagine and dream about it.
I played on it. I always
wanted one.
But that's what I'm saying. You guys are ranking it on what you think it is. I'm telling you what it is.
Yeah, but you didn't have it either.
Yeah, you didn't have it either.
But I played with it all the time.
I didn't play with it all the time, but I definitely saw it when I was older, put together.
I didn't say see it. I said I actually played with this toy as a ute. As a ute.
I still feel like we got to do a B.
Yeah,
And, no, the Jets not really helping us out.
Well, I'm saying trash it, so.
Well, you said C.
I was giving that because of you guys' nostalgia of not having it. I'm
flipping it a B, and we're leaving it there.
It's a dog shit. I protest this whole ranking. You guys are ranking shit you know nothing about.
The whole ranking.
Yeah, absolutely. Disqualified. Like something you guys don't. Disqualification, something you didn't know about. Completely disqualified. The Cobra hydrofoil.
Lamprey was pretty cool, and the boat was pretty cool. I had one of these.
Lame. The boat.
It didn't really stand up too well when it wasn't in water, but you could actually I put this in the tub once, and then it sunk.
Did you put baking soda in it?
You know, what we used to do is take it and put. I didn't know we take it. Kitty bath. So there's one kid. He lived behind me for the years of GI Joe. So probably moved out in '97. But he had his parents got him. He had it all, like all this stuff. But we also had.
Quick side note: that lamprey is not to scale. I wanted you to be able to see the figure better, so I made him bigger. That's not to scale. The boat was pretty big.
Pretty big. But we had a kiddie pool, and we would put the water stuff in the kiddie pool.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it was pretty cool. It's cool as shit.
Like I did the outside stuff with the Joe occasionally in the snow. I had a couple of snow adventures where I was allowed to take them out into the snow.
We're giving this a C-ish B. It was cool.
This is pretty. Yeah. I like the hydrofoil. It was the fun looking boat. Looked like a giant speedboat.
Put in B. See, that's what I'm saying. This is actual functional. This shit right here, non-functional.
Yeah,
just not functional.
It was also it had its trouble. Okay, there we go. What was that one? Toll booth and the bridge layer.
The bridge layer. Yeah, it's fun.
I'm not gonna lie. The bridge was handy.
Yeah.
You put a couple of cushions like aside, and you just bridge the gap with the bridge. You got a whole chasm. You got a whole side story working there.
Once again, as we talked earlier, the rich kid that lived behind me, we got to play with a lot of these toys outside. So like this was a difference maker, especially when we were building up like water runs. You know what I mean? He had a sandbox too, so we could dig out trenches in it, and it was a covered sandbox. So it was like they made it like 4 wood poles, and then it had a roof over the sandbox. So it was classy. I actually think my dad made them the sandbox.
You're right. Yeah, the moccasin would float. The hydrofoil didn't really float all that well.
But if you didn't get to play this thing, good outside vehicle. Yeah, but if you didn't get to play with it outside, it's probably C. If you did,
no, I'm telling you, even inside, you're building your terrains inside with pillows and couch cushions. You use that bridge thing to bridge some gaps. It was still fun. It wasn't great. I mean, toll booths sucked. I never used toll booths.
Yeah, toll booths.
He just stayed in the box of figures. Like he never got pulled. He never got called up.
Yeah, toll booth. Yeah,
toll booth never got called up. I think his sledgehammer got used though, but I think I gave his sledgehammer.
The sledgehammer is pretty awesome.
I think I gave the sledgehammer to War Pig or Road Pig.
Oh, really?
Remember Road Pig?
No.
The other Dreadnought, the later Dreadnought. I think I gave him the sledgehammer.
So here we go. Either way, so are we putting in an A?
A's.
That's
no, I don't think I'd A it though. B. We got a lot of B's though.
I think we should move these two down from B to C. Put it in B. It's just not the same. All right. What is this?
This was the last thing. A repainted tripwire, I guess. I think it was still tripwire.
Lord, yeah.
Remember the mine dude?
Yeah,
he had a cassette tape.
Excuse me. Well,
I had this. I don't remember what the cassette tape was, but I do remember having this red and orange figure going, what the hell am I going to do with this guy?
I never had this either. I didn't even know this existed.
I know this existed. Yeah.
I had it, and I will admit I do not have many fond memories of playing with Tripwire or listening to this cassette tape.
I kind of remember the cassette. Was there more than one cassette tape?
I think there might have been eventually.
Yeah, because I don't remember this
one. Might have done one or two more, but
yeah.
Cobra's Revenge is the name of the thing on the cassette tape.
Yeah, I had this figure, and I had nothing to do with it because, like, he can't hide. Like, all the other guys are in greens, and you can hide them and camouflage. Like, he's bright ass red and orange. What am I gonna do with his? What am I gonna do with him?
This is fun. Wasn't a U.S. figure? Well, who cares? Maybe they got it in Canada, Europe. Who knows?
Anyways, US figure. How the hell did I get it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Maybe it came through Canada or something. Or you know where you probably got it from?
I don't know. My
flea market. Your dad probably got it at the flea market.
Oh yeah, my dad was. We frequented the flea market. He still goes.
So C or D? What are we doing with that?
Oh yeah, this thing wasn't very, very good.
Mm-hmm.
I think D is fine, and I think we are done with that.
Okay.
Pretty middle
good.
heavy.
I mean, it's still void because of you guys ranking shit you don't know anything about, but
it's not void just because we put the USS Flag at B instead of C. Stop trying to void the whole list.
Void. Void's list. Illegal vote.
Boo this man!
I still want one.
For making an illegal list, boo you.
I still want one. Even just to play with for the weekend.
All right. I'm sorry. I'm exhausted.
As am I. We
went
longer than I had thought we would, but we had a full show with a lot of Joes.
A lot of Joes. It's always fun doing the Joe thing.
Yeah, we still got a couple more years to go. We'll get back to them one day.
Well, we'll get back to them. We were going to do it once a month. We should really do it once a month. Maybe.
Yeah. Well, we got to do our next wave of Transformers before we get back to Joe's, I think.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's the show, guys. Thank you for stopping by.
No after hours tonight.
No. Oh, I actually. Oh, should I? We should do it next week.
No.
No. I've got a new cooking video because I'm great shish kebabs. I actually teach you how to fillet a full tenderloin. Like an actual tenderloin,
save that for next week. We'll have
and I teach you how to cut it too.
We'll have another cooking with Marco in the after hours.
It's more butchering than anything else.
Yeah, okay. Fillet a tenderloin.
Yeah, I'm gonna I take everything from silver skin down. I get it where they give you in the backpack. I teach you how to chop it all up, cut it all up. 4.75 pounds tenderloin, whole tenderloin. And I kind of teach you the difference between the tail tenderloin, which is actually the true roasting tenderloin, and what they're now calling a tenderloin / roasting tenderloin, which is not. It has more of the prime cut. I don't go through it all, but I show you instead of the tailing cut. Teach you how to.
My wife did a pulled pork today, which was pretty tasty. I will admit.
How to cut out the steaks, how to cut out the little 8-ounce steaks, the whole thing. Show you it all.
Also, I got to double check with Jack. Jack wanted to come back, and I can't remember what he wanted to talk about. I got to reach back out to Jack.
The DC event if he wants.
No, that was Corbin. Corbin wanted to do the DC stuff, and then he wanted to talk about Dan Didio coming back.
I actually make kebabs out of most of it, and then I piece out 3 pieces for fillet for the steak, not butter. I don't understand butterflying it. How you butterfly a fillet?
Oh, but here we are. It's about 12:30.
You gotta
go.
Anything else?
Now they've been digging. Friday night, catch the boys. Catch the Hot 10 list at 9:00, and then right after that, catch the boys on the qualified. Not sure what their topic is this week because I'm never sure what their topic is. Oh, Black Cat Spotlight. Nice.
Character Spotlight. Black Cat.
I like the character spotlights. That's good. Other spotlights are good too, but I like the character ones. Saturday night SNS. You never know what's going to happen.
No idea what those guys are up to.
Always something. It's always something good and always something ridiculous. So. Catch the boys on Saturday night, and then Sunday night, catch the Star Wars show where you will get the latest and greatest opinions on the Acolyte. In-depth review. Right.
Maybe some theory too on Acolyte there that people are talking
about. I like the theories as well. And then, it's a brand new Dom.
Started up on Monday with a whole new week.
Wednesday watch list starts Monday, and then comes all back around here on Wednesday. Thank you all so much for hanging out. You're amazing. Hope you enjoyed the Joes. Have a great night.
All right. Later, everybody.